Watch that booty go. Watch that booty go. Watch that booty go.
Play this game. I'm trying to use the phone.
Enough from me. We're gonna have the games do our talk.
Watch that booty go.
I lied.
What's up, grinders? How you doing? Mic check 1 2 1 2. It is Monday night. We're back in the grindhouse. You guys are banging on the doors, man. I was trying to plug in things, making sure the sound's good. Oh man, it was a wild time just getting this thing together, man. Whoa. I'm in the grindhouse lobby. So frogs, if you're out there, J-Dubs, I sent out the message. J-Dubs is coming on. He's gonna join in on the grindhouse. But man, oh man, we got a show for you. Oh my God. I gotta go. No, man, we gotta shout out to all the VIP grinders in the house, man. Toolman being the newest member. Toolman, I gotta add the 55. You know, it makes sense because there's only one Toolman. So right now, there's only one Toolman I know. I'll add that 55 there. But shout out to the VIP grinders for supporting this channel and using all those amazing emojis. There's amazing emojis in the grindhouse. There we are. Herman Holtz doing splits. Shout out to Herman Holtz doing splits between two PS5s. It's turbo time. No boosters. And we're ready to rock tonight. Actually, the VIP Grindhouse Lounge, if you want to be part of it, hit that join button and you'll be able to use these amazing emojis. I will be adding some more emojis to it as I have another slot for them. But we're going to have to revamp this Grindhouse, man. The walls are coming down. Booster, Phil Ness, Activision, they're pushing so much pressure on the back of Triple H, Helms Hurst, pushing back in the splits that I think we're going to have to blow this up. I'm going to have to make this VIP Grindhouse a little bit bigger. Expect a revamp of this slide. I'm going to have to do it, man. There's too much pressure coming in from the back, from the boosters. We don't want boosters. Hey, who are you? DJH, Toolman, the tools. Who are you with that incredible giveaway last week? Thank you so much. Tex-Mex Morty, what's up? How you guys doing? Use those emojis. Booster, baby. But, man, we are going to go to the gaming grindhouse. But let me tell you, we always got to shout out to the balcony. Always shout out to the balcony and the people that support the channel. You grinders in the chat, support this channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We got some topics for you tonight. I hope it's not a bachelor grindhouse. I hope it's not a bachelor house. So Frog, I don't know. I'll be texting him. J-Dub said he's coming through, but you know J-Dub he's an Xbox fan now. We don't know. I don't know if he's gonna come in here. He might slip in the back. Pause. Oh damn. You know J-Dub turned into an Xbox fan overnight after that Activision deal. So we gotta keep an eye out, man. I don't know if he's still thinking he's gonna come on, but shout out to J-Dub. Supposed to be in here. But everybody, thank you again for supporting the channel. And we're going to go right to the grinds board. I'm going to start it. And then, as you know, the grindhouse door is open. Frogs and J-Double will come in as we go. If not, it'll be the Bachelor Grindhouse. And I'll be handing out roses. Let's go. You guys have been waiting long enough. I saw the over and under. Who started that thing or how late I'm going to be? Who started that? Holy shit, the game night. 1, 2, 3, starting off things with the super chat. He says to start things off, it's funny how Booty's supposed to be the head of First Party, and since the Activision news, he is once again pushed aside, and it's all become about Phil Ness again. You guys take the words right out of my mouth. And shout out, oh man, we got Paul one out for Meatloaf. My goodness. Oh, I tell you, it's been wild, man. Andy, I think that Andy guy, he died, the comedian, man, it's been wild. Everybody. But, man, you took the words right out of my mouth. It must have been while you were kissing me. Shout out to Meatloaf. Pulling out, man. I love Meatloaf. Meatloaf's music's great. But, yeah, game night, jeez. Booty, it's never about the booty, dude. It's the booty. I found out it was Buck Raj. I knew it. I knew Buck Raj started this thing. I knew it. I saw the over-under 14 minutes. I saw that. I saw him doing that stuff. I saw Buck Raj. I saw you hitting that up. Shout out to 84 people watching. Hit that like button. We're going to go to the grinds board. But first, I just want to talk about that super chat. Thank you so much, Game Night, for the contribution. Super chat works. Shout out to the Mooch. And Booty, where is he? All I know is that he got 33 studios. And Booty, it's going to be one of those nights. He's been clapping at all these studios, clapping in the streets. Shout out to Wooly. Go follow Wooly and go check out his show. His show is awesome, man. Company of Gamers podcast. But let me tell you this. Booty's been clapping so hard. He saw this work. When Phil signed that deal for Activision, Booty goes like this. Phil, I need the petroleum jelly. Phil's like, why? He goes, my ass. It's so chapped from clapping at all these studios. He goes, Booty, you better start clapping again. 2 sugars, 1 cream in my coffee, a little bit of foam on top. Get over there. 343 needs their cappuccinos. Don't get in the way. They're service company. Leave them alone. They need 2 coffees with a little extra foam, enough room for some cream, 2 sugars, 1 Splenda. You know the order. You know how Bonnie likes it. You know how those dudes that delayed everything and they're working on co-op, you know how they like that coffee, Booty. Go clap. Go clapping down the streets. But yeah, Booty, dude, I don't know where he is, man. He gives them coffees. That's what he said. He said he stays out of their way. Whatever. We're going to be talking about Booty clapping in the streets with his ass chapped. We're going to go. We're going to the grinds board. Let's go. We got so much to talk about. My goodness. Like last week, 3 shows. But you know what? I got more shit, more stuff. Because the internet don't stop. They don't stop. Greenberg putting himself in the Crash Bandicoot. Holy crap. We're going to talk about it. Oh, man. Let's go to the grinds board. Let's go. And Frog, if you're out there, you're welcome in the grindhouse. And J-Dub, you can come in the back door if you're afraid to come into the front now that you're an Xbox fan. Don't worry about it, J-Dub. You can come in wherever you are. Let's go to the grinds board. Let's see what's going on. Thank you again, VIP Grinders. Oh, damn. Hit this one. Let's go. Where's my intro to the grinds board? I need an intro. I need my music. There it is. Oh man, it's a full 8. Holy crap, guys. Leave the donuts at the door. That's right, man. Trying to lose weight here in the grindhouse. No donuts. We don't need those Phil Ness donuts there, man. But I tell you, they've been going around the media like crazy. The media is grinding my gears. J-Dub didn't switch. He'll need to answer that question. That'll be an edit topic. We got to find out what happened to J-Dub. So, man, what happened to my freezing thing? What happened to my stuff? My thing freezing? Hold on. There it goes. All right. So here's the topics for tonight. A lot. Thank you. Nick likes the transitions. I'm glad. I work on those transitions, man. Canva, Wooly. Thank you. Canva is amazing. I love it. I am addicted to it, man. I make the memes. You guys are going to be in for so much entertainment with my videos and thumbnails and transitions because I am addicted, man. Because I crack myself up. I would do. And you know what? Just as a thing, let me just to get things started here before I even read the list. Let me show dudes this my tweet today ran all over the Twitterverse because you know what happened with Greenberg, right? But shout out to Canva, man. Look at this. Look at this. Here we go. You know. Oh, there it is. There it is. X going to give it to you. Wolverine's going to give it to you, per Herman Holtz. Greenberg standing next. Oh, who's that? J-Dub. Oh, how you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Can't complain. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Happy New Year, man. I don't think I've spoken to you since the New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, man. Hope everything's going good. Hopefully you and the family doing good.
Yeah,
hey, I love that little profile picture right there. I might have to pull a switcheroo and change it to that.
Oh, you get a blood transfusion? You taking out the green?
Yeah, buddy.
Dude, oh my god,
that's funny.
Yo, man, I was like, how did nobody do it? I just put some stuff together. I was like, yo, Wolverine, man, with the X.
Exactly.
Dude, yo, shout out to J-Dub. How you been doing, man? How's everything going? What you been playing?
Man, I've been playing a lot of stuff. Been on PC, man, playing believe it or not, Cyberpunk 2077. I'm trying to get past that. Some F1 2021. I'm ready for my new racing setup to show up from the UK.
Oh damn! What new seat you got?
Yeah, I got everything, man. The the new GT Pro DD, the Fanatic wheel, basically the wheel that's for Gran Turismo 7. So I'm waiting for that to show up. I got another Red Bull cockpit that I'm putting together for my son. So yeah, man, we're about to be some racing asses around here, man.
Yeah, man, that's the way to do it, baby. Because it's like crazy. Because I tell you what, and I can't wait for the VR on that thing. You know that VR's gonna be lit when they do that.
Man, can you imagine?
Dude, it is crazy.
Can you imagine?
Because it was pretty.
Everybody in the chat, man. I hope everybody in the chat having a great year.
Dude,
doing
they're welcoming
good,
you in, man. They're all hyped up. That's right. It was just a ruse. He's getting his blood transfusion, man. He's just a ruse.
Facts.
Yo, shout out to Link. I see Link. Link, you lurking? As long as Link's not doing construction work, we can Link. There he is.
I'm not doing construction.
No construction tonight. No, what's up, Link? Say hello to the good people of the Grindhouse. How you doing?
What's up, Grindhouse? I haven't been on very much, but I figured I'd hop in here for a little bit.
Dude, I see you. Yeah, I think it's the timing, man, because I see you when you've been on sick. You've been over in Sick Humor and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're jumping over there.
Usually during the day.
Yeah. Those guys, man. Those guys are awesome. Good stuff. Yo, Andrew Wook with the $5. He goes, shout out to Jez in the chat. The way Xbox fan responded to Colin is how the chat. Oh, yeah, I saw that. How the chat was when he was on Iron Lords is the reason I'll never be on Xbox Live. Shake my head. Dude, I did see that, man. And when Colin was
what
on,
happened? What happened?
So he was on the Iron Lords podcast.
Who was?
Colin Moriarty.
Colin Moriarty?
Yeah,
I don't know why he went on.
Well, It was interesting because I got shout out the Lord Cognito, man. Those guys put on a production. I tell you, they had like everybody on that show, and they were bringing them in like call-ins and their reactions and stuff. And like there was a segment about Sony, and then Colin Moriarty comes on.
You're my number one customer.
Just basically, like talks about his stuff where he says that this is devastating to like to the small indie devs and all the stuff. And people in the chat will somebody like pissed in their cornflix. Dude, they were just like, oh my, I'll get him off. I don't believe him. They were doing super chats get him off and stuff.
Those are the most diehard of the most diehard bots.
It was
follow
crazy,
that crowd.
Dude,
yeah, the toxic bots.
And what was crazy was
those are the Phil Spencer stands accounts. That's what that says.
Dude, because what was crazy is that like the Island, they were trying to keep it civil, like they didn't want to go personal or anything like that, but the chat was like livid. Yeah. And then like even I think then Gaz came on and he wanted to go at Colin Moriarty bad. And like they were like toning him down, like King David and like and Lord Cognito, like, yo man, don't make it personal and stuff. But he's like, I don't, and we're gonna talk about it today because I think that's a lot of the big thing about exclusives and versus what Sony's doing with the studios versus what Microsoft's doing, and how everybody, even Dustin Laguerre with his ass poking around and just kind of making these things where it's like buying exclusives versus buying publishers, totally different. But we're gonna get to the topics here. Let's get to that, and thank you for the super chat. Yeah, man.
It's like I said, these guys have been beaten up. They've been beaten up so bad for the last 9 years. Now they actually have something positive to talk about, and they're gonna. I mean, listen, the hounds are let loose. Yeah. Sure, this year and next year they'll probably have no games, and they don't care. It's about beating PlayStation fans. It's not about the games because obviously they don't buy and they don't support and they don't play the games, right?
Yeah,
that's a given.
Well, that's a case. Yeah, definitely we'll make that.
Yeah, but it's the fact that we've been beat up so bad for all these years. Now it's your turn, you stupid ponies. We got Call of Duty. Suck it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what that is.
Well, even before the Call of Duty, it was like any little thing. It was like the whole PlayStation still making PS4s, and then the Xbox stopped their console that wasn't selling at all in 2020. Like anybody cared. They like revived 2 years ago news going, oh, well, they stopped making Xbox One. Somebody's like, who cared? Nobody's buying it anyway. Like they were done with it.
The only downside I don't like is the fact that those guys, those media guys, the Destins, the Paris, the Parises of the world, the Jeff Grubbs of the world, and the rest of those guys, they shame Sony so much for not allowing crossplay and for making Spider-Man exclusive and for all of this stuff, right? just for Microsoft to turn around and take it a step further. Now they're parading it. Now they're happy, and now everything is fine. But when Sony bought a studio or made a game exclusive, they were livid. It's just the hypocrisy. Remember, exclusives didn't matter.
Oh my God! How many times on my channel?
Metacritic,
Dude,
sales don't matter. Remember, for the last 9 years,
sales don't
all
matter.
Of a sudden,
exclusives don't matter.
Just,
Jesus.
Yeah, even Phil Spencer.
Oh, I got him. He's like, exclusives are not the way of the future, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't want to. Phil Spencer. I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay to keep games off of another platform. Remember he said that?
Exactly. But I'll buy the publisher, though, to keep games off a platform.
Exactly. Everything he said was based on the fact that Xbox didn't have shit.
Exactly.
So now they go and buy it and they have it. Now it's like, yeah, you know what? We care about games. We care about exclusives. We care about Metacritic, right? Oh, we were the number one sell in December, or for Black Friday, we won NPD. It's like the hypocrisy, not just from the media, not just from the fanboys, but from Phil and Aaron Greenberg and the executives themselves. That is the most fucking crazy thing ever. I expect the fanboys to do it, right? I expect them to do it.
Yep.
That's their job to do it, to hold the line. But for the media to turn around and shame Sony for doing all of this stuff for 9 years, for making it the best platform for its fan base, for offering VR, for offering exclusives, for offering and getting the marketing deals like COD and stuff like that, they got shamed and ridiculed for it. But Microsoft comes out, spends $100 billion, even though they're still in last place. But it's just a fact. Like, for people not to understand and to see this shit is crazy. And I've been posting receipts left and right. I find it comical. I find it very comical, and it's just crazy. But at the end of the day, none of it's gonna matter. None of it's gonna matter because they don't have the games to the quality that Sony or Nintendo have. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yep. And here it is, July 16th, the flavor of the month, 2022. Exclusives are completely counter to what gaming is about, Xbox Phil Spencer says.
Exactly.
Dude, okay, so console exclusivity. But see, what he does is that Phil Ness, though. He's like, oh, well, console exclusivity, but that means I can put it on PC and phone. That's not exclusivity. Dude, the thing is exclusives matter. Exclusives drive you to the platform. And I've done so many shows after this thing because people like exclusive. It's the multiplats is what's mad. It's not the exclusives because you didn't have any exclusives. But now when Microsoft is flexing with Microsoft money, they're rolling around like I said, like last week, like Debbie Moore and Indecent Proposal, rolling around in the dollar bills and they got them Xbox underwear. They're like, oh, Microsoft money, give me those hundreds. Now all of a sudden Microsoft's flexing, buying up publishers, and now it's all of a sudden exclusives. Take it off of Sony. Take it off of there. Put it on Xbox. Oh, what? What happened? What happened? There it is. The game night. What was that? The game night 123 with the 123 news 10. He goes, exclusives are counter to what gaming's about. That's great, Phil. Well said. We believe in generations. Let's keep bringing this up in ponies' faces. Yeah, the generation thing. Oh my God. Please. You know what? People took Jim Ness exists. I don't care about Gordon Ramsay, Jim Ramsay.
You're my number
Jim
one
Gordon
customer.
Ramsay, look at some of the bitch. I don't care about him, but that we believe in generations thing, dude. Phil Spencer went out there kissing babies and hugging fans, saying high fidelity VR is coming, and now he got the balls to talk about the metaverse and talk about how this would be metaverse. You don't have a VR headset worth a damn.
Exactly.
Whose metaverse you going into? Will you climbing up booty's hole? Where are you going? Pause that one. God damn, like, where's your metaverse? Who are you gonna leech off of for your metaverse? All of a sudden now, the metaverse is the lingo now. Oh, well, this is for the meta. Who's going to meta? When Sony's touting out VR 2, everybody's like, oh, we're not ready for VR. But all of a sudden now when he buys Activision, it's about the meta. The meta this. Oh, you're gonna go in VRs and play Call of Duty. Dude, you want to know what? You're not in the game of VR. So who are you going to leech off of now? Who are you going to buy and get their VR system? Ask Mixer how Beam is doing. Ask Nokia how they're doing. $7 billion. Microsoft ate them and shit them out like a friggin' McDonald's burger.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, man. We're all over the place. I don't care. We're going through this topic. So.
Listen, I think because of the news about the $69 billion hit the wire, I think most people hadn't had a time to step back, to breathe, and to analyze the whole situation and what's going on. If you step back and realize Microsoft has spent $80 billion on publishers, not just developers, but publishers. And these publishers own a bunch of developers, and those developers own a bunch of IPs. Microsoft now is one of the largest third-party publishers in the world for gaming, for console gaming.
Yeah.
They're a third-party publisher. What do third-party publishers do? They put their games on other platforms.
Yes, they do.
A lot of people are not seeing it that way. A lot of people hadn't stepped back from the fanboy stuff to realize what Microsoft is doing. These guys are about to get rid of the hardware, and they're about to be just like EA, just like the Ubisofts of the world. You know, that's exactly what they're going to be.
Yep.
They're going to put the games on fucking Stadia. They're going to put it. It's going to be an xCloud, Game Pass. It's going to be on PlayStation. It's going to be on Nintendo. It's going to be everywhere.
Dude, they'll start like doing exclusive stuff, and then they'll pivot just like they did with Steam. When nobody wanted to go to the Windows 10 store, they realized that, oh, we got to put this on Steam, and they pivoted again. And that's what they do.
I'll be honest. I'm going to be honest. I think the only thing that's going to be exclusive up front is going to be the small stuff. But all the stuff that really makes money, the services stuff like the Call of Duties and the Fallout 76s and all the online services games, they're going to keep, just like Minecraft, they're going to keep that stuff, you know, for everybody, because they need it to make the money back.
Yeah.
They didn't spend $80 billion just to lock it down to, you know, what? 6 million, 7 million fucking Xbox Series X and X Series S gamers. That's not what they're gonna do. That they're not gonna do that. And people, I think the Xbox fan base, they really think that company loves them, where they're willing to sacrifice billions of dollars of profits for them just because they love them. And that is
they don't care.
That's the being naive part that I think the Xbox is going to be a rude awakening for those Xbox guys.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like when you sit in here and look at the celebration as to what's going on. I was talking about it on Friday when they showed that menu of all these games and like unannounced projects and things like that. And it's just like, it's a menu you can't eat off of. It's a menu you can't order off of. It just sits there, and it's these list wars that, you know, what's crazy is you yet to see the fruits of the labor of 2018. All these studios that they purchased in 2018, we have not seen gameplay or any release or anything on these games. So you see that, and you're like, well, G just got more stuff. And it's just like the person who's full sitting at the table and ordering more food. And it's just like, dude, you're not going to eat that food. Like, you like, work on what you have, and then earn that respect. And then if you need to go buy these out. But why are you pivoting so quickly and scooping up all this IP before you even know what to do with it? And that was the one thing that Colin Moriarty said on that show, was the one thing is that Microsoft does not have a plan for Activision. They don't have a plan. And I even mentioned this too. Like, if you look at what IP they're making, they got Avowed, which is like Avowed, which is made by Obsidian, who makes games similar to Elder Scrolls, who they own by Bethesda, and then let's make another Fable game by Playground Games, like, and then like, oh, let's just throw in Outer Worlds 2 into that as well. And it's just like the redundancy. Why is there so much redundancy? And then it's like, well, we got id, and they're going to make Wolfenstein, but then let's also buy Call of Duty, and then let's also have Halo there, somewhere around there, and then we're going to throw in, you know, maybe Rage, or, you know, something along with those guys. They'll make something. Then Indiana Jones, why not? And it's just like, it is just a shit fest of, like, multiple stuff that's very confusing. Like, the portfolio does not have, like, it doesn't make sense. It just seems like just throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks. So you got to question what's the quality of everything, because they are just consuming IP like goddamn Pac-Man. And as a gamer, you're like, wow, imagine what can happen. Imagine they got Toy for Bob working on this and doing on this. And that's great as a fan, but I don't. Given Microsoft's history, I don't believe they
Yeah.
even know what the hell to do with anything.
Yes. What happened? If you look at their portfolio, it's a bunch of the same shit. You got
It's all
Halo.
the same shit.
You got Call of Duty. Listen, check this out. You got Halo. You got Call of Duty. You got Wolfenstein. You got Doom. You got let's go with the Fallouts, right? You got the Fallouts. You got the Starfields. You got your Elder.
It's Elder
it's
Scrolls
all
Online
the
with Elder
same
Scrolls.
fucking shit. It's like there's no diversity at all in it. It's like 20 shooters. It's like 20 RPGs.
Western RPG.
And then there's what, one or two racers, and then like that's
and
it.
Perfect Dark as well. Let's have the initiative make a first-person sci-fi shooter with Perfect Dark as well.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I said this earlier on my show that I did. Yeah, I said this early on the show that I did. I said Microsoft showed you their potential when they dropped Halo Infinite, a half-ass game with no co-op, with no assassinations, with no forge, and a half-ass job done. They spent over $500 million just on that flagship IP, and it came out. Nobody's playing it anymore.
Yeah, I saw.
If that's the best that they can do with the best IP that they have, what makes you think that that they have the potential to deal with the Call of Duties of the world, the Overwatches of the world, and stuff like that? Makes no sense. I have no confidence in them to do nothing. They've shown you the best they can do, and they failed with it. They gave us fucking Craig.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Like you look at and again, we're going in reverse here with the grinds board. But like one of the things I want to say is like basically, they have not demonstrated their capabilities of reviving their own old IP. But they're going to come in and somehow sort out Activision and revive and save Guitar Hero and Crash and Spyro.
Exactly.
And like they bit off more than they could chew. I said Booty's chapped ass. He's clapping all over the goddamn place. He got his chapped ass. I don't know where the hell Booty fits in all this thing, because Booty, he just gives sugars and creams.
Does he still work for the company? I haven't seen that guy in forever.
Last interview he did, he says that he doesn't want to get involved. He wants to stay out of the studio's way, and basically sounded like he brings them coffee and crumpets. Like that's what it sounds like. Now he's gonna need a goddamn food truck. He's gonna have to go around all over the place in a private jet to give coffee and crumpets to everybody, because he's I don't know where his management of quality oversees this stuff. And Phil, I don't know, it's Mr. CEO himself, I guess. With all this IP, and this is where if I fear this, and this. We're going in reverse here. We're jumping all over the grinds board. I'll put timestamps in with the topics we're trying to talk about here. But like one of the things is that it's the consolidation and just putting this all together. Like having all that on IP under Phil's roof. It's not fanboy hate. It's just that they have not demonstrated quality and revival and respect for their own IP over previously before Activision. It's not just like, oh, you're salty, you're bitter. Just look at their history. Ask them where Banjo is. Look how they just killed off Killer Instinct, and now there's rumors they might have Bandai Namco make it. Rumors.
Yeah.
Like, you got 33 studios, but you can have Bandai make it? Like, what are you doing? Rare is sitting there. Everwild is complete disaster. They don't know what the hell that game is. They had to reboot it. They're targeting 2024. Perfect Dark got perfect help from Crystal Dynamics. You got 23 studios sitting there, and you go grab a third-party publisher's studio that just came off Bootleg Avengers and say, make Perfect Dark? Like, what? Yep. Like, who does that? You got Rare sitting there doing Sea of Thieves updates. The whole goddamn studio Rare is doing Sea of Thieves updates. They still didn't give the body to the goddamn Kraken. And you know what? Since we got J-Dub in here, we're going to do a clip. Man, oh man. Speaking about bodies. Oh my goodness. J-Dub. You weren't on this show, but my goodness. Shout out to Next Gen. My God, he did this. Somebody posted this video, man. This is and I like Xbox. Xbox is a good guy. But my goodness, this video was hilarious. And he actually retweeted it. So I'm just going to play this, man. But this is hilarious right here. Like,
I got to hear it.
Dude, here we go.
All right, I'm gonna.
Oh no, what happened? Here we go. I'm just gonna play it from here.
All right,
Or this
yeah,
is-
I'm going to talk some common sense about the Kraken, though. See,
The
here's
Kraken.
deal.
Sea of Thieves.
What Rare is doing, every content drop, the Kraken is going to change.
Why are
It's
you looking
gonna
underwater
evolve.
anyway?
So the next time there's a content drop, it's going to come at you differently, which
Is
I
it a
actually... yeah, that's
Body
I
without
mean,
legs.
They said it's going to evolve. I want to see exactly what they're saying with this because if you had the full monster in there day one and you didn't change it up all the way throughout time, it loses that grandeur. It loses that splendor. All of a sudden, like you're like, oh, it's just the Kraken again, man. We know how to do this, and because you've done it like 20 million times before. At least every 3 months, they are changing that creature. They're going to be adding more sea creatures into this.
But you saying that Rare didn't put the whole creature in there for it can keep evolving?
No, they said they're doing this in stages, right? They're evolving this creature every time they put down the content drop, which is every 3 months. Every 3 months, they're going to come with a what they're calling like a big content drop, and then they're going to change. They're going to evolve the Kraken, which I feel is actually something better to do than putting the full thing in there from beginning, because then it doesn't change at all. You know what I'm saying? You just get that.
Wait. So we're gonna be okay with them putting in a creature that's not even fully rendered? That's not done? Come on, man.
Yeah, it's like his face is just like, dude. The Kraken's gonna evolve over time. Every 3 months they're gonna end. The Kraken and the way this, I think this was like from 2018, when the game came out, right? Like they were gonna evolve the Kraken. It's still the 5 sea dicks flapping in the wind to this day, 2022. And this is the point that we've been making so much. It's like, dude, when they sat there in 2018 going, what are you panicking about? Fear-mongering. It's just going to take time. We're in 2022 now, and we have seen shit. All right? Like, we've seen nothing. And they're still buying shit. The Kraken doesn't have a body. He got the 5 sea dicks, and you fight them the same way that you fought them in 2018. He didn't evolve the shit. The only Kraken thing that's real is the goddamn Kraken compression that Dying Light is showing with the friggin' install size. Do you know, Sony was right. Look at the install sizes of the Kraken. Like, we're sitting here. That's the only Kraken that I see that's goddamn real. The Kraken compression in the PlayStation 5, where it's like, what is the numbers? Wait, where is it? It's friggin', what the hell is this Kraken shit? It is basically, where is it? It is the Kraken. It's basically Dying Light 2 comes in at 32 gigabytes on the PlayStation and 70 gigabytes on the Xbox. We've been seeing this more and more, how the size. And, you know, since size matters, you know, everybody goes crazy about the whole Xbox and, you know, it's fluff. Dude, the gigabytes, 70 versus 32, this is not like a shedding of 5 gigabytes here and there. Dude, it's almost like half or more than half. And this is not the first time this Kraken compression. Who the F is Kraken?
Exactly.
Dude, the gadget. Kraken compression is what the Sony does. The Kraken is in Sea of Thieves. It's the goddamn octopus that flops around and comes after your ship. And you know what, JW, you had to refresh the grinder's memory because it has been so goddamn long that they probably forgot about the Kraken is lacking. Shout out to Next Gen.
Yep.
The Kraken was an enemy that was put into Sea of Thieves. It was discovered when it comes out and comes after your ship that when you go in the water, it's just the 5 tentacles popping up in the air. There's no
water. Those the noodles. Just the noodles.
The noodles. There is no body to the Kraken underneath. And they said it was going to evolve over time. It didn't evolve to shit. So it's an octopus. That's right, Gadget. It's an octopus. But yes, go back to Sea of Thieves and see what happened. But the Kraken that we're talking about is the Kraken compression that Sony has in the PlayStation, which actually is showing almost more than half of the size. And I'm telling you, that goes a long way when you got the external hard drive in there. You got you only have like 820 something or 820 gigabytes. But like, dude, like it goes a long way when you're like more than half, when you're coming in at 70 gigabytes versus 32.
Yeah.
Dude. And then on top of that, I don't even know, man. The graphics, I think, and Horizon's coming in supposedly at 80 something and 90 gigabytes. And then GT Sport.
Huge game.
Dude, Gran Turismo's coming in supposedly at 101 gigabytes. And that's with the compression.
Those are huge. Those going to be some huge fucking games.
Dude, it's gonna be huge. Oh my god, that's with the compression, dude. It is gonna be insane. But yeah, the Kraken stuff, dude. Hey, that compression stuff works. Cerny, everything that Cerny said in that stuff, again,
It came true.
the guy
It
put you
came
to
true.
sleep. But man, he was right. He knew the hardware that he was selling. But when you go look at Greenberg, what X is gonna give it to you, and 12 teraflops, and it eats monsters for breakfast and bitches for lunch. Dude, that is all hyperbole Microsoft bullshit, and definitely didn't even amount to anything, because look at the trees in Halo. Where are the 12 teraflops? Where are they? They coming later? Where is old ray tracing that they hyped up, that they're using RDNA 2.0 and Kim Su's goddamn special edition GPU? I don't know what the hell they
Rumor has it, Jez, is that Microsoft is already working on the Xbox XXX.
the triple X.
Yeah, they're already working on the next iteration, whether it's the Pro version or something.
They're going to
gonna-
announce it this year, Jada. Like I said it last year. I said it last year that they're going to start talking about the next Xbox, because the reason why, and if people weren't listening, a couple, like, I don't know, like shows back, but I said the reason why is because of Xbox All Access, which, remember, that was supposed to take the world by storm too. Subscribe, get an Xbox, and 2 years of Game Pass thrown in, and a bunch of donuts or something like that. But basically, Xbox All Access allows you to upgrade after 18 months of doing that subscription, $35 a month. Well, if you have nothing to upgrade to, then what are you going to do? So they got to make sure that they have another console coming soon, whether it's like a discless Series X or something along those lines, for you to upgrade. Because remember, the console is like a cell phone model to them. And if they got people on All Access, they don't want
You're my
people
number
to
one
pay
customer.
that off and keep the Xbox and trade it in and stuff. They want them to kind of get them right, just like how your cell phone company taps you on the shoulder when you're at like 24, you have like 2 months left, 4 months left. They're like, hey, you want to come in and upgrade? Because they know that once you pay off that phone, you're out of their world. Like, you could just leave. I got my phone, I'm out of here. The lease is what keeps you in there. So for Microsoft, that Xbox, that 18 months comes around, your end of Game Pass is coming up there. They want to say, oh, sir, would you like to upgrade to an Xbox Series XX? You know what I mean? And pay another 2 years, because that's the cell phone model. So they need to start pumping. And last year's E3, Phil did say we're working on a console. Like, he mentioned it. I think this year's E3, they come out, you're right, with a discless Xbox. They got to stay in because again, the games are not there.
I'm gonna be honest, they shouldn't have made the Xbox Series S. They should have just did what PlayStation did, right? Make the exact same unit, just remove the disc from that standpoint. And I don't know. Maybe they could have made it a little slimmer by not having the disc in there. I don't know. I mean, the PS5, the disc version, the discless version, the digital version is a little bit slimmer than the other one. So I don't know. They just basically took a cinder block and jammed everything together. I don't know what that revision is going to be, but I'll be honest. I don't trust any Xbox hardware at this point in time, because based on what I'm seeing, before any of the games are fucking ready to launch from anything that they bought, right? We're going to be sitting at 2025. And before you know it, it's time for a next generation. Well, I've already had that with the Xbox One X. Remember we bought that shit and they discontinued it after 15 months?
It was talked,
like,
it was hyped up longer than it existed. I think we knew
we
knew Project Scorpio for 2 years, 2.5 years. The thing lasted 2.5 years. I think it was like an even amount. Like, they talked about that thing for 2 E3s, and the thing lasted 2 summers.
And we still got no games to even
still,
push it.
And the last thing they ended on is a Cyberpunk No Future console with the game that came out later. What a fail. And that was the last one that they made. Shout out to Ejecto Cito with the $2. He goes, Xbox still trash no matter what. Dude, it's not even that the console is a bad piece of hardware. It's that the incompetency of the company that's running it is so apparent that they just don't, they hear you. They'll tell you they hear you, but they won't do what you want them to do. People be asking for banjos. People asking for all these things. Phil, Killer Instinct. Phil, imagine. That's all you hear on these podcasts and all these extra. Imagine. How long are we imagining? Because guess what? Nintendo's doing. Sony is doing. We are playing now. What are you imagining?
I got a question. I got a question. What from their first party, what are we getting in 2022?
God, hell, they bought a Bethesda. Thank God, because it would have been nothing.
Nothing besides Starfield.
And maybe a Forza.
Redfall has been delayed.
But it's
Stalker 2 was delayed.
That's
to
not first.
December.
That's not first.
Stalker's only 3 months. That's only 3 month exclusive.
First party.
Yeah, no. I'm trying to. You got to realize when you deal with Microsoft and Xbox, you have to give them the benefit of the doubt.
No,
you have
then
to
you got to
give them
count
something, right?
No, then you got to count like Final Fantasy and stuff. I'm just gonna say from their first party, it's Bethesda, Starfield, and maybe a Forza if they slip it in this year. That's it. Or maybe they do Hellblade if that even gets a date on it, which they showed it 2 years in a row with no dates. So right now on the schedule, on the books, because first party games and Game Pass is what it's all about, it's Starfield. That's it. The game you haven't seen anything about. And Forza whenever they announce it.
None of those games have a exact release date.
I think Starfield has a date, November something. I think
the one that they gave you last year in that trailer, the 12 was
12
it
something? Yeah.
12, 22 or something like that. Yeah.
The placeholder.
That's still that's a placeholder. They could easily get past that and be like, well, that was just
Mm-hmm. Well, just going on the thing, I want to just kind of stay on the grinds board. We did go on rants. That's fine. I love it. But we got the analyst predict, speaking about the sales and what's going on, that the PS5 is going to outsell the Xbox 2-1. And I think this is pretty obvious,
It already is.
It already is. And I think, I think one of the things that I think, though, is I think this whole CPU, this chip shortage and stuff, it basically put a tourniquet on the sieve that would have been Xbox if these things were in stock, because I think the PlayStation 5 would have blown the Xbox out of the water if these things was a normal release schedule and normal releases like typical console launch. And I think Sony would have had the PS4 on discount for $100, a Pro for like $150 if this was a normal generation. I think that this whole COVID thing and everything that moved on, I think it just delayed the inevitable and kept Microsoft relevant, where they could kind of drop these I'm buying publishing news to kind of keep themselves afloat and relevant in the news, because the games are not doing it. But basically, I think it would have been a civ. And that's not fanboy talk. That's just what it is, because the PlayStation is absolute. It's showing next generation. You look at criticisms, everybody's like, it's the same old dash on the Xbox. They didn't change the sharing features. They didn't add anything to the Xbox that made it a next gen machine.
Lack of effort.
Lack of effort, just like a lazy thing. Meanwhile, they were the ones talking about it. Remember, they were the ones talking about it for so long. They thought Sony was in trouble. Remember, everybody's like, Sony's going to delay the PlayStation because Xbox is all in. They've told us the name. They sent Digital Foundry out there to get breakfast and play with the magnets of the box. And they got the
12 T-flops.
12 T-flops confirmed. PlayStation's in trouble. They're scared because of the 12 T-flops. That's where they weren't at PAX East. Remember? They were scared of PAX East because of COVID, but it was really because they were afraid of the 12 teraflops. Like, all this bullshit. And meanwhile, the PlayStation comes out with a launch lineup, games that show next generation, a controller that changes the game, and a new dashboard, new features like share play and all that other stuff where you could share your screen in the corner and do all these like overlays and all this other stuff better than Microsoft did it back with the Xbox One. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at all that stuff combined with the games that they're launching, and the fact is you can't say, oh, the pandemic, that's why Microsoft is in disarray. Sony and Nintendo have been releasing games on a cadence every single year. I don't understand. Why are they immune to this stuff? And Microsoft seems that they can't get their head out their ass. Perfect Dark needs help. You built this studio from the ground up. And apparently they wanted to work on Perfect Dark. Phil says he lets them work on whatever they want to work on, I guess. Well, I guess they walked in there saying, hey, I made Tomb Raider. Let me make Perfect Dark. Okay, I guess we'll revive. I don't know where that conversation came from, because Microsoft never even talked about Perfect Dark until it came out of the blue. Then, on top of that, you don't hear anything from them from 2018. Then, all of a sudden, last year, you get an update from them after they announced that Drew Murray leaves and in 2020. And then you get an update from them, and it's like, oh, guys, we're happy to announce that Crystal Dynamics will be working with us on Perfect Dark. What? You were built in 2018, taking pictures of sunsets, telling me how you're going to stay small and nimble and all this other stuff. And now you're getting help from Crystal Dynamics when you got all these studios. You got Rare sitting there figuring out what the hell Everwild is, and you do not utilize Rare at all. Even Rare and Perfect Dark together makes sense, even from marketing perspective. Even if Rare is just like they walk in and go, "We're good," and leave. At least you could put Rare and Perfect Dark together for some of that nostalgia. But having just like the Initiative and Crystal Dynamics Perfect Dark, dude, I said she's got a mustache and mutton chops. She's gonna be a bootleg, gonna be the stunt double. Get the hell out of here with this stuff. But like, they just don't have. I don't know where their management of their studios have been, because it seems like it's a rich kid that doesn't clean his room, and it's just basically like just spending all this money, making a mess out of the place. And unfortunately, they're grabbing like treasure, like really IP that people like, that there's fans of, and I just don't know if they know what the hell to do with it, because they didn't do anything with their own IP all these years.
That's my biggest problem. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. If you have a company
number one customer
that has failed to put its mainstream games into any kind of quality status, I mean, what does that tell you? And now you're going to dump a truckload of other publishers and games and studios and stuff on their lap. They don't. Phil is not a good manager.
Oh, Booty, I don't know who it is.
Look, Phil came out. Do you remember? It was like 20. No, it was 2020, the year that they showed us Halo that summer.
Yes.
Before they delayed it, right?
Uh-huh.
Sony came out their event, showed a bunch of bangers. Phil said, "I'm more excited what we got to show you. I've seen Sony's event, and I'm more excited
oh my God,
what we're gonna have to show you." And then we got Craig.
Yep.
Then he came out apologizing 30 minutes later, and they delayed Halo for a year. Is this the guy you want to trust with a shitload of studio? Like,
no.
I don't understand it. They couldn't manage the Halo Gears and the Forzas of the world, right? When they only had those couple studios. Now you throw another 30 studios at them. Good luck. I keep telling people, listen, all right, we'll see Call of Duty in about 3 or 4 years. We'll see if it's going to be a number one seller. We'll see if it's going to be the juggernaut that it is now.
On it. Yeah, well, yeah, I know. Well, the other thing too is like we'll talk about Call of Duty, but like the thing is like another just cash cow that's been going out there. Like, are they going to influence? Are they going to change Call of Duty? Or are they just going to let them run the show and just let them just keep pumping out those games? Like, I don't know, because they love that kind of stuff. They love just to have something on autopilot and just pump out like a service and just get money from them. Like and they're just talking about quality stuff. Like, look at, and this is where my problem is. But first I want to say Game Night 1, 2, 3 again. Pokemon. I don't know how to say that. Acreus, that new one that's coming out. And Uncharted Sea of Thieves this Friday, the collection. Crossfire X in February, going to be lost in the dude. Crossfire X on the February onslaught. Dude, Crossfire X. First off, it has everything going against it. It's a first-person shooter coming out in a month where there's tons of incredible games coming out. After we just have first-person fatigue with Halo, Call of Duty, and Battlefield.
And guess what else, Jez?
What?
It's not in Game Pass.
And there's your other one. Yep. And it's not in Game Pass. So all the
I had a conversation with. Listen, Jez, I had a conversation with somebody about that game. I saw that somebody had posted a tweet on Twitter. They said, "I'm so excited to try." Keyword try Crossfire X. I've said, "Kind sir, do you realize that Crossfire X is not going to be in Game Pass?" And he said, no, it's going to be in Game Pass. So I found the article. I sent it to him. As soon as he read this article, he backtracked and was like, I have so many games to play. I really don't even have time to play that game.
They're going to wait
for
what I mean? Game Pass, dude.
Oh, I'm so behind on games. I have so much of a backlog. I don't have time to play that. I said, wait a minute, sir. If you were really that interested in this game, you made this tweet, why wouldn't you just buy the game?
Of course,
why do you have to try everything? They don't want to buy anything.
They don't want to buy it. They want to wait for it. And I got the Paris clip. They won't wait for it to come to Game Pass. But one of the things I want to stay on is this IP and appreciation of IP. Like, I'm showing pictures of Horizon. And what's amazing is that this game was announced, what was it, 2020, right? This Horizon wasn't announced. Was it announced in 2020 during the release of the PS5, right? The reveal, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, first, somebody said, Harry S. Johnson with the $2. He goes, you guys pre-ordered Horizon already? Yes, I did. Yes, I'm sure Jay did.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dude, look at this game.
Regala
I'm sure
edition.
you did. I'm sure it's coming on the elephant's going to drop it off at your front door.
Yep.
Dude, look at. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about with just Horizon and how we talk about IP, look at how they rolled this out. And they did this with Returnal and they did this with Ratchet, where they basically make the game seem bigger than life, bigger than what it is, where they're just showing the voice cast now. They're showing more clips. Like, they make it seem like, oh my God, there's even more stuff to do. They show the underwater capabilities. I have this clip here where they showed how she has this underwater capabilities here, where they highlighted the demo that they shown and basically how she utilizes the diving mask to stay underwater indefinitely. Like, they just keep pulling back layers and layers of this game. And what's incredible about it is that there's just so much to it, but it's also ingenious marketing and getting people hyped, hiding it within the kelp so that you could hide from big enemies underwater. So basically it's a whole other world underwater, which they didn't have in the first game. Remember, like, and this is one of the things I was talking about when they were saying with Horizon and using jet streams and to propel yourself. They didn't have this in the first game, and the currents they use. And the thing is that if you look, it's more, it's better, it's evolving, it's what a sequel should be. And when you see, when at the same time they were demonstrating Halo was a regression, a scale back. We're taking things away. We might add them later. We don't know where we're going to add them. Here's another example of, just look at the difference of the facial animations from what they used to be to what they are now. With the eyes, it's crazy. Everything is an evolvement. And this is what demonstrates next generation. And what I'm trying to show is that this is how you celebrate and sell your IP. You don't stealth launch it after, like, in a beta or an alpha, or we'll fix it later and all this other stuff. You make it the best it can be, because there's only one time to make a first impression. And that's why Halo, the players are dropping off, because everybody checked it out because it was free and it's just not there. But do you guys see how Sony is really pristine on their marketing, but they make you want this game? Because they keep adding more and more detail to, like, this world. They talked about the AI. They talked about the different clans. They show and not all at once. They trickled it out, but they give you more and more to make this game seem like, oh my God, look at the stuff. They showed the combat, and it's cross-gen, right? Yeah, this is cross-gen. That's a cross-gen game right there. There's a picture from a cross-gen game. All right. Look at this! Oh my God! Like the graphics, the gameplay, the combat, they evolved it.
Jazz, I've said it for months now. I've said it since last year. Xbox will not have a better looking game than most of Sony's last gen games.
But they're not making Xbox Ones, dude. They're all, what is it? Starfield is a next gen only game. I'm telling you, all Microsoft's next gen only games, I don't even think will come close to this. Like, they're not.
Listen, we know what Bethesda normally put out. We know what that studio normally put out.
Dude. And they're using the same old engine too.
None of the Fallouts have ever fucking looked good. So that's what I'm expecting.
Dude, and they're using the same old ass engine. Fimua with the $4.99. He goes, you guys think they're gonna surprise us and have flying mounts? Dude, I don't know, man. Like, she is definitely has some aerial
number one customer
parachute, but I don't know if they're gonna have. Maybe like those pterodactyls are in there, but you know, she has that hook shot, hook them onto them and fly, man. I don't know. It would be pretty awesome, but she definitely that. What I am intrigued about, because I went back and I was playing the Frozen Wild, and just how limiting her melee capabilities are and the abilities that she could do. It's really just a bow and arrow, setting traps, and the melee is just strong and weak or sneaking up. And seeing what she could do now, jumping off of walls, hanging out, the hook shot, having all these melee things, that super melee attack. It's incredible how much they added to the combat that is going to be I can't imagine what the battles are going to be, but the transversal is going to be incredible. Like, you're going to want to explore and not fast travel everywhere. From what they did. I know gliding is not the same as flying. I know. I'm aware of that. But there's some aerial stuff. And maybe they do add flying mounts. I don't know. There's pterodactyl. She was fighting them in that video.
I'll be honest. I think they're holding that close to their chest. I think that's the one thing they're gonna wait right before lunch, and then they're gonna show a trailer of you using them, and I think that's just gonna blow everybody's mind. I've been saying this for ever since they revealed the game. I know, I may be wrong, right? I may be wrong, but I'm sticking to my guns. I still think that that's a big element of the game that they're just going to hold to their chest. And maybe you can only do that on the PS5 version,
Oh, maybe. Harrius Johnson for $2, he goes, I want to fly like the Rocketeer. Dude, then you get the, you'll play, what is it? The Iron Man game in VR. That makes you feel like the Rocketeer.
Yep.
But, the thing is the appreciation for the IP, and they're going to do the same thing. And this is how you market a game and you get people interested. And, their strategy with getting people, making them play it on PC, playing the first one. And then they showed this second one, people might go try to get a PlayStation to play this stuff. And again, I know PC gamers are different than console gamers, but again, the games do the talking. Where's Herman Holtz? Where is he?
Enough from me. We're going to have the games do our talking.
I like how nobody focuses on that quote, but the "we believe in generations" gets run through the mud. But enough from me and let the games do the talking. That has been the truest statement for Sony. And that's one of the things I put in here is Sony's response. So this Activision thing, that went down and all this other stuff, like Sony responded, and we're going to get the Call of Duty exclusive. We're jumping around a little bit here, but the Sony's response to the deal, since we're talking about it, basically was just to show more Horizon and Gran Turismo. Like they really didn't say anything. Phil was the one who said he reached out to Sony executives about Call of Duty, but Sony just basically just showed Horizon. And again, the fact is like, hey, remember this game? And it's not going to have the same impact as a $70 billion purchase. But the fact is that they are not going, like they're not like, they're just demonstrating their strengths. They're going to their strengths, which basically is, the games that they have coming out. And why wouldn't they? I'm sure this Activision purchase was definitely something to realize because Microsoft has nothing coming out in the next few months except for Crossfire X. So how are you going to stay relevant? Announce some studios, right?
What is all these acquisitions for, right? It's all about the games. I know. You buy stuff, right? So you can have them to create something. And the product that they're creating is a game, right? But Sony has games, so they don't have to focus on all of those other acquisitions. And the Xbox community, these guys are hyped for acquisitions and LLCs.
I don't understand it, dude. I cannot understand because if I was still a diehard Xbox fan, I would be like, this is bull. Like that's what just grinds me up so much. Yeah, I'm like, they used to bring these. They used to buy like. They used to bring content to the platform with Titanfall, even the moves like Tomb Raider and stuff like that. Like, they were doing this. And then they stopped. And they talked about Game Pass, and they went on to this kind of like, it's going to be years before we see quality content. And now we're going to buy. Like, they celebrated Xbox 20 years, and it acted like Xbox the year -1. Oh, we're waiting for all their lineup and the games. You launched a console without any games. Then, on top of that, and this is where you're saying celebrating acquisitions and all this other stuff. On top of that, they launched with no games. They were supposed to launch with Halo. So they had one game, and Psychonauts was supposed to come out. Both of those games got delayed. They wound up being 2021 games in addition to a lineup of 2021. No, that was it for 2021. And they decided to port over Flight Simulator. So basically, your 2020 lineup became 2021 lineup with no new stuff. Basically, Horizon. I'm sorry. So if you released in 2020, Horizon would have been the only game coming from their studios in the fall. That's it. Then you go, we're out of the rut now. We're out. Then you look at this year, you got one game, Starfield. That game, if that game gets delayed, you got no game. One game.
Yeah.
Sony says, you know what, we're done. God of War is delayed. You still have Horizon and Gran Turismo. And not only their second-party deals that are decent games, they're not Stalker. Like, they're not indie or kind of weird-ass games like Stalker 2. Where's Stalker 1 remastered, dude? If you're playing, and this is where I say they didn't know what, like what Colin said, they don't know what they're doing with Activision. If you look, You signed Stalker 2 to come to the platform. Don't you think you should have remastered Stalker 1 and have that to go with the Xbox just in case people never played
Should have been in
Stalker
Game
2?
Pass, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, should have been in game.
So, but it's just a random shit. It's like, no, Stalker 2. Here you go. It's like, well, why don't you make something out of this and bundle it or pay the devs, use all that billions of dollars that you have and say, hey, can you enhance Stalker 1 and put it on Xbox for us? Because we're going to get Stalker 2 exclusive and it'll be nice to have both of them. Makes sense, right? No, They don't do that kind of stuff. And that's where I scratch my head. It's like everything just seems so friggin' random. It just seems so goddamn random. It's like Stalker 2, yay! It's like coming all games. Like, hey, anybody that wants to throw their shit in Game Pass, please do.
Well, I can defend them on this point. The fan base wouldn't have played it anyway.
I know.
Why would they go through all that hassle in the fan base?
Well,
I mean, these guys just got Forza and Halo, and they already dumped those fucking games.
I can't believe
they already
it,
left those games.
I was looking at those Halo stats on Steam because again, it's so successful, but people don't even Xbox doesn't want to share numbers. I think it was like the first time ever after Halo released that they never even said like, hey, our install base grew this much. Like they didn't even tout numbers.
You're my number one customer.
That shit was. They didn't even say like, a billion grunts got shot in the head. Like even their little spin, they did nothing. Like it was such an anticlimactic. Like they are so goddamn lucky that they had that Xbox 2020 anniversary because they really leveraged that. That's the one creative thing I have to say. They leveraged on nostalgia and remember what we used to be to launch that game because if they didn't have that Xbox 2020 kind of fiasco thing, like Halo came out to like crickets, man. They did not. They had a couple of trailers here and there, but man, it was like, this is Halo, man. They did nothing. It was sad for respecting IP. Shout out to the Game Night 123 He goes, for that $70 billion, they could have made new studios, make new IPs, timed exclusives, and feed their customers. But nope. And that's exactly what they did. Nobody ever says, hey, if Microsoft has all that money, why didn't they outbid Sony for Final Fantasy? Why didn't they identify Deathloop as something that should be on their platform if they were looking at Bethesda? Why didn't they pay to put those games on there? You want to talk about money, and shout out to the Game Night because I wanted to go into that part I had right here was, look at this. You want to see it's 70 billion buys you? Hey, how about just 100 million? Yeah, that's how much they paid to publish Rise of the Tomb Raider for 1 year. 100 million to Tomb Raider to be exclusive, and they published it for the year. How's that?
Yep.
So you tell me $70 billion, but in order to bring games to you, they could have brought Tomb Raider, a very big franchise nonetheless, the sequel. They could have brought that to you for where's my thing? It's right here. $100 million for Rise of the Tomb Raider timed exclusivity. In 2015, it cost the company $100 million, according to a LinkedIn profile from former Square Enix employee. Said negotiating $100 million Tomb Raider exclusivity deal with Microsoft. Wow, in his LinkedIn profile. How incredible it is. So $100 million got you Tomb Raider exclusive. What can $7 billion get you? If their main point, if Phil loves to hug grandmas and kiss babies, and you are the most important thing to him because you are the fans and Fan Fest, and he loves Xbox so much, and he wants to bring content to Game Pass and give you games and make you play on his platform, what could he have done?
Yeah.
Why are you waiting? Why are you imagining? This is what I don't understand and frustrates me. This is not fanboy talk. How can you sit and imagine when somebody just keeps talking bullshit to you into your face because he's just a nice guy? He saved Xbox. Tell me about that bedtime story again, J-Dub. Please.
Exactly.
I got my little coat here. Tell me how Phil walked into that office and he said, I'll tell you how to save Xbox, Satya. We got to put our games in Game Pass. Terry Myerson's out. Oh, tell me about that. Give me a warm hot cocoa and tell me the bedtime story how Phil saved the brand. Really?
Right.
The story going around the internet. He saved them. Phil's the hero. And now even they say Microsoft, they saved us from Tencent. They saved us by buying Activision. Microsoft saved us. They're a black hole of IP right now. They have yet to prove and earn the respect that they lost in 2007. And I love how all of a sudden, again, we did the same Halo thing. Halo 5 is garbage. It was trash. Boo! Boo! Because Halo Infinite has to look better. Now everybody just shits on the Xbox One now. It's hilarious. Xbox One was a shit generation. Sucks. They sucked. It was horrible. Now it's better. Phil turned it around. Dude, he was in charge of the Xbox One generation from the beginning.
Yeah.
He was there. Dom Metric was out like the first year. Phil took the Kinect out of the box. He was there for the whole time. So when you say Xbox One sucks, after years of saying Phil turned it around, he got rid of the sidebar and he took Kinect out of the box and he bought studios and he was about to shut it down. He was in charge of the whole generation. Oh, Xbox One was shit, but the Series X, he'll turn it around. What?
Exactly.
Like, what are you talking about here? But look, 100 million now. They brought games to the Xbox, and this is. Oh, well, I can get into that. We'll get into that on the next topic here. But like, if you look what money can buy you. If they really, the point was to bring games to you as a gamer. You know, like what Sony and Nintendo have been doing. Look at what they do, dude. Like this is what they do. They mess with you. They could have easily got those games. But they chose not to because they have a different path. Because they want it all to go through Game Pass. And that brings me to the number 4, which is the Call of Duty. Will that stay exclusive? So, what do you think, Lincoln J-Dub, what do you think about this Call of Duty thing? And about that Phil Ness that came out when he said he talked to the Sony execs and sent them over some donuts? Do you think it's going to stay exclusive? What do you think they're going to do?
No, it's not playing exclusive.
Link.
It's not. It's just too much. It's too much money off the table.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's too much money on the table. The Xbox
I don't think
so. You think the yearly? Because it's all like confusing. Where it's like, are they going to keep Warzone, or are they going to keep Warzone? But then are they going to the annual ones? Are they going to put that on PlayStation?
All of it is going to PlayStation.
I think it's going to stay on PlayStation. That's just turning away too much money.
The biggest take out of all of this is those guys get to have those games for free in Game Pass. That's the biggest incentive that it is for them.
Yep.
But to say
if you subscribe to
you're gonna remove that game out of the access to those games out of the hands of 140 million people, that's fucking crazy. That makes literally no sense. Right? 70% of Call of Duty, whether it's Warzone or whether it's the mainline games, 70% game on PlayStation.
Yeah.
So Call of Duty, PlayStation is Call of Duty. If you want Call of Duty, go away. If you want it to not be Call of Duty, the big thing that it is, remove 140 million people having access to it. You'll see that game go down the list. It probably wouldn't even make NPD.
Well, yeah, they'll find.
They're not gonna buy it over there.
They won't buy it. Or and some people will die.
No, they don't spend money.
They might go over there. But I always say this on this channel. Like I always say, for something that I believe in here is that I think they have a whole battle to fight to try to convince the person who annualizes Call of Duty. I just buy Call of Duty every year to tell that guy or that girl, well, now we want you to get it through Game Pass. And it's like, well, all I play is Call of Duty. Why do I need access to 200 games I don't care about? Death's Door and all the old Gears of Wars, and I don't care about those games. All I play is the new Call of Duty. Why am I going to pay you $15 a month to access those games? Now, the only thing they could do is say, like, well, you get the battle passes in there, so now you'll get the battle passes with Call of Duty, including your subscription. So that might entice people to go there. But now you kind of the battle passes are $10. Now you're paying $15, so you're still paying overpriced if that's what they plan on doing. But you got to convince people not to buy the game, but to subscribe. And that is a whole, especially for the games that people traditionally buy. You see it on MPDs. You're going to have to tell that group. And you look, even Halo hit MPDs for what it was in the campaign, for being in a a campaign in Game Pass, it's still made number 2 in MPDs under Call of Duty. So it's showing that people still want to buy the game. Not necessarily everybody's getting it through Game Pass. And you look at Game Pass numbers and you see Game Pass, I don't think is big enough to even make that influence that we're trying to see. So all those things that Phil said, man, when Game Pass launched, like, we're finding people buy more games and play more games. He was saying that shit 4 years ago. They must have had like 2 million subscribers. It was probably all family and friends. Like, who the hell are you talking about? What sample base did he have when he was talking about that on Giant Bomb? Game Pass was like 2 years old. He got 25 million now. The fuck he had back then? He's like, my mom, my dad, their cousins, my friend's cousin. It was all family and friends that were on it. Who the hell was on it back then? So what kind of install base to make those assumptions? Like, oh yeah, more people will play our games. Dude, is a rental service. That's what it is. Look, all the Final Fantasy games are leaving. Toodaloo. All the ones that they touted for. What was the other ones? Yakuza's. Sayonara. Bye-bye. They're gone. You missed them. Go buy them. They come and go. It's a revolving door of games. It's for an ADD gamer. That's what it is. But for somebody who wants to own their games and play that stuff, dude, they got to convince you to play Blockbuster style. So that's a whole internal battle that they have to fight, especially when you're buying these big games, like even Starfield. Like, if Starfield is like a Fallout, right? The people who want to play that game will buy it. Who is going to subscribe to Game Pass to play that game? Like, what influx of people say, well, I'm signing up for Game Pass to play Starfield? It's going to be just kind of people that want to check it out. But, like, if you really are hyped for Starfield, you're just going to go buy it. So it makes you think, what the hell was the $7 billion for anyway? If people are just going to buy the game, they're not going to want it through Game Pass. So why are you spending all this money to make sure this game goes through Game Pass? Now, the sleazy shit they can do is make the game kind of like Call of Duty, just to stay on topic with the Call of Duty stuff, is like, oh, well, the campaign is in Game Pass and the multiplayer is on PlayStation and on Xbox, and you could play the campaign, which, maybe people will do that, but they could control that stuff. See, that's why they don't want just to pay for exclusivity like they did with Tomb Raider. They want to own the company because they want to manipulate how the game is made and how it's built so it fits into their service. And that's where this whole like Sony getting exclusives versus Microsoft getting exclusives this way, that's where it changes, because Microsoft is buying it at such a high level where they can control distribution and what the game is. Look what they did with Halo. Would Halo be like that if Game Pass didn't exist?
Nope, absolutely not. Halo would be way better. It wouldn't be a half-ass game. We know that.
Yeah, 343 made Halo 5. It wasn't another studio. It wasn't Bungie. 343 made Halo 5. And what were the complaints? I want to play more as Master Chief. Did it look bad? No. Did it play bad? No. Was the multiplayer trash? No. It had innovative multiplayer with Warzone and even that arena shooter. That Breakout. It was like a paintball. Like it had everything in it. It had Forge. They even put in a firefight in Warzone. Remember, firefight used to be a staple of Halo, where you had the 4 people and you play against waves of enemies. Where's fire? We didn't even ask about Firefight for Infinite. Holy shit! You throw them a curveball. You say Firefight to them now, they're like, maybe 4 years from now we heard you. Like, Firefight. Nobody's even asked. That was a staple brought to you by what was it? By Reach, where they added Firefight. That was a huge staple. Co-op, 4 people, and they added it to Halo 5. So Halo 5 wasn't that bad. All you wanted to do is play more as Master Chief and maybe not as much as Locke, even though they made a movie for him. Yeah. Nobody asked you to pull out all the goddamn vegetation and give me some bullshit trees. Nobody asked you to split off the multiplayer. Who was asking for free-to-play Halo? Anybody? I don't recall. Do you recall anybody? After Halo 5, they're going, you know what? This should be free-to-play. I never saw one person say that. I never heard anybody say that it should be free-to-play. So who did they listen to? Who told them that it should be free-to-play? It was Phil Ness. And we got J-Dubs here, so he has to talk to Phil Ness himself.
Yo, J-Dub, this is Phil Ness. I thought I got you being an Xbox fan. I thought that Activision could turn you to the green, but you fooled me. You gave me that J-Dub Ness. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna send you some donuts. Hope you like those, and maybe I'll give you a new fridge. Did I tell you you get 1 month of Game Pass for only $1? Just $1. Miss.
Damn, the smooth sounds of Phil Ness. You gotta watch him, man. You
man.
freaking wine and dine your ass, get you on that Game Pass, man. You better watch
Facts.
Better be quiet.
Facts.
Phil Ness, man. Frog. I don't know what Frog is, man. Usually around this time, they come knocking at his door and try to throw in some Xbox fridges and some donuts with them, and they offer him a Game Pass. But he has the Grindhouse go after him. But I'm gonna tell you, man. The thing is that Call of Duty could be manipulated to work in their favor. And that is why they own Activision. Like, they own them so that they could control the game. They could walk in there and say, Infinity Ward, take out that multiplayer and put it in Game Pass. Mm-hmm. Don't give them 20 maps at launch. Give them 3 maps at launch. We'll add more over time. Season updates. And that's what they can do. They can manipulate the games to fit the service. And I had some people in the chat last week, they were going crazy. They're like, you could buy your games, Jeds. You could buy your games. And I'm like, you'll be a fool to buy the games. Because everybody talked about $70 Sony games. What about $60 Halo campaign games where the bootleg Joel gets the friggin' name and they shut it down?
Yep.
That was a half-ass campaign, putting seeds into holes. Pause. For friggin' 3 hours in the same open rooms that had metal all over the place. What? That was $60. No co-op, no Forge. It doesn't tell you on the front box. This is a service game 10-year plan. They should put that tramp stamp on the front. They don't tell you. It says Halo. Buy me, bitch. $60. Where does it say on Sea of Thieves? Only 3 fetch quest missions. Kraken, 5 sea dicks. Tramp stamp. He's going to evolve over time with evolving enemies. That's what I have. On the bottom of Sea of Thieves in 2018, at the bottom it goes, our enemies will evolve with seasonal updates for the next 4 years. What the fuck? Where are all the disclaimers? You need disclaimers on that shit. Because, you could buy it, but you will be a fool to buy it. Just like how they try to finesse you out of Xbox Live. Remember? We'll double an Xbox Live.
You're my number one customer.
You'll be a fool to pay for that in Games of Gold. They devalued Games of Gold so much that Xbox, I was thinking about this, and this is not even on the thing. Oh, shout out to Legit Chaos Pods at $5. He goes, let's face it. This is not for us where we're old 40 plus. This is to get younger kids and change gaming and buying habits. That's how I see it. Take care, B. Now, you know what, Chaos? I understand, this whole younger crowd thing where they're used to this mobile gaming structure where, you're kind of getting season passes and things like that. And we're old and grumpy and moving that. But again, kids are not dumb either. Kids are going to play the games that they have fun with. All right. And if these games are not fun, they're not going to waste their time with them. So Microsoft could put all the finesse they want on these games, but if they're not making engaging games that people want to play, they can monetize the shit out of it, but nobody's going to pay it. Look at the Halo Battle Pass, man. Halo is the evidence of everything. Look at the Battle Pass. Who's buying it for friggin' left elbow pads and a right elbow pad? And maybe you get some friggin' you get some mohawks, light up mohawks for $20.
Yeah.
Kids are not doing that shit. They want the cool and man, I'm gonna tell you talk about younger kids. My son with Fortnite and Rocket League, dude. Fortnite now is becoming they got real music in it. They got radio stations.
You're my
they
number
got
one
all
customer.
the characters from all over the place. With TV shows and all this stuff. And the kids engage with it. They do hey, look at my new song, and they listen to this song, and it's a pop culture. Microsoft has to capture that. Minecraft, I think, just got a lot of people play Minecraft. Minecraft was doing that. Where the hell's the 4K update to Minecraft? Bueller.
Oh man, the ray tracing.
It was canceled.
Like
It was
is on
canceled.
It was
PC.
canceled.
It
Bueller.
was canceled.
What happened to the
A
ray tracing?
few
Like it was on
moments
PC.
later.
What
It
happened?
was canceled.
It was canceled.
Yep.
Yeah. What happened? Remember they showed the rolling hills, the ray tracing. What happened to 4K Minecraft? Where is it?
It was running terrible when they showed the demo off. So I mean, the frame rate was all over, way below 30 frames.
Of course it was.
Yeah.
Quality games, dude. Like that, and that goes to my freaking thumbnail. Jim Ryan just pointed to like Activision Blizzard, and he's like, Herman Holst, get to work. And he's like, quality games. I'm going to give quality games. Let me park my yacht right here and do some splits. And I'm going to show them Horizon Zero Dawn and show them the quality of these games. And then it's going to ooze quality. And then they're going to show the cars and the finesse of the cars and then give them the quality. Let me get off my yacht. Like, Herman Holtz just unbuttoned the second top button now. He's basically bare-chested right now, Herman Holtz. He's on the yacht. He's parking the yacht. He goes, I'm going to give them quality games. They can't deny the quality games. Herman Holtz goes to the studios and he parks his yacht and walks off the yacht and walks into these studios and flips over tables if the quality's not there. All right? Goddamn Booty travels in a goddamn clown car with coffee coming out the goddamn window. Honk, honk. Walking around to all these studios asking for 2 sugars. Like, Herman Holtz is intimidating son of a bitch, man. He unbuttons that second button. He comes walking into your studio. Your ass cheeks pucker up. You know? Booty comes in there. Man, they're fucking giggling in the corner. What the fucking guy's name is Booty? What the fuck out of here? It's fucking Booty. Like, stop talking shit, Booty. You're sticking up the place. Like, how many jokes are fucking cracking when he walks into the studios? Booty, you're shitting up the place. Like, come on. Right. Shit writes itself. Fucking Herman Holtz comes in there and goes, don't let me do my second button. Then I'm really going to fuck shit up. And I'm going to do my splits with the 2 PlayStations right here. Like, fucking Herman Holtz, man. He fucking comes in there. People pucker up their ass. I mean, you better get that demo ready. Herman Holtz is coming in here. Fucking, he can go back to his yacht. That's right. I want VIP grade, but Herman Holtz with the splits in the fucking chat. I want to see him split between 2 fucking PlayStations. But come on, like, it's quality, dude. Oh, God. I don't have my clown horn when Booty shows up. But my God, like, come on. It's about quality games. And if you don't make these games quality, the kids are not playing them. No age is going to play them. My 2-year-old's not going to play shit. They're going to be, shitbag, sucks. Yeah, her first words, sucks. This sucks shit. Like, come on. People want quality games. People want engagement. All right? You can't force that. And that's what they're doing with their big dollar bills. You know, Phil's running around with the goddamn, what is it? That big, what do they call those checks? Where they come around there with the big ass check? Mm-hmm. What is it? The friggin' when you win the award and the guy from the talent show comes over there. What the hell they call the? Oh shit! Oh, what the hell those big ass checks come in? What is it? The loving house or something? What the hell is it called? Yeah. The friggin' clearinghouse or something. The clearinghouse.
Clearinghouse. Yeah.
He holds up the like John Cusack was holding up the friggin' holding up the big stereo box. He holds it up in front.
Mm-hmm.
He holds the big check.
Oh man,
dude, where is he? Dude, you know what the next thumbnail is gonna be?
You know I gotta Photoshop that.
No, I'm photoshopping that shit, man. We're getting ready. I'm getting John Cusack. Grinders, if you're not doing anything and just listening to the show, I want John Cusack holding up a big clearinghouse check, and I want Phil's face on it because that's what he looked like, with the sad face in front of Activision holding up the big ass check. Mm-hmm. You want to? Who are you? Says looking at this is like you want a lifetime subscription to Game Pass. What he doesn't know is that the lifetime subscription is probably going to end in 3 years when Microsoft pulls the plug on the whole fucking plan. That's really going to be the gift.
Yep.
When Phil's like, you know what? Shit didn't work out the way I planned. Fuck it. He's out of there. Just like they did with Mixer, right?
Same thing,
you guys, dude. Mixer wasn't growing. Mm-hmm.
All that shit. Yep.
Mixer wasn't growing, right? It wasn't growing. So what happened? They got rid of the original content. They fired all those dudes in July. They said, nah, Mixer was like the social platform. They got rid of it, right? Then, what happened? They spent big money. Remember? Millions of dollars to buy Ninja. Buy big talent from Twitch.
When they're like 30, 40 million or something
big
like
ass money. Big ass check. There you go.
Less than 6 months.
Force it. Mixer was not going to grow on its own. Force it. Right?
They tried to they tried to spin their way into doing it, and it's just going to be just like this. They're trying to spin their way into doing it.
Then they bought Shroud. And what was everybody saying at the time? See, everybody has short-term memory, but the Grindhouse remembers, dude. Ninja, Shroud, they bought them all right? And what was everybody doing? What were they saying on Twitter, J-Dub? What were they saying? They were saying,
that's it. That's it. It's going to be
they're serious. They're spending money. Right? Same shit they're saying now about gaming. Like they're going, Microsoft's real serious about Mixer. They bought Ninja. They bought this. What they were doing? They were forcing everybody. They were forcing subscribers because nobody was growing. Nobody was going there. They were forcing it because they weren't patient enough to have it grow and gain that respect. And this is the thing that people don't seem to grasp. Like when they say nurture studios and all this shit, not nurturing studios, but the forceful nature of just trying to buy up from your competition. Like, hey, Twitch is so big, you know what? I'm just going to buy their top streamers. They even tried to get, what's his name? The friggin', the other guy. The red guy. The hell's his name? God damn it.
Dr. Disrespect.
Dr. Disrespect. He was like, you didn't take that big money? He didn't take that big money. Oh, yeah, I forgot to put the lobby thing up here. Sorry, the whole time I'm talking. You guys here, there we go. I want to show who's here. But yeah, like Dr. Disrespect, they were going to pay for him. But no, nobody wanted to move. And if you look, I just kind of look at this and go, you know what? This is it's familiar because like you look at that Game Pass subscriber count, right? 25 million in 5 years. All right, hit that like button, everybody. That's right. Who are you? Hit that like button. We're all over the grinds board tonight. We got J-Dub and Lincoln here, man. It is a wild show. Over 180, we had 180 people watching. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. I'm coming after you. Let's go, grinders. You're in the grindhouse now. There's no holding punches. We don't pull our punches here. Never do half measures. Where do you hear that from? That's all that Microsoft does, half measures. It's goddamn put half a foot in. Jump in the goddamn pool, everybody. Let's go. It's make or break time. But you look at this, and the thing is you look at 25 million over 5 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's $5 million a year. So what are we doing here? What happened? It wasn't growing naturally. They first started putting their game. They've been putting their first-party games in Game Pass since 2018.
Yeah.
This wasn't last year. This wasn't a COVID thing. 2018. We are in January. They started in January 2018. 2022. January, February, 2022. Nothing's going to change in the next 5 months either. Everybody's like, oh, we're just started January. When's the next game coming out? November?
Yeah.
Like, dude, nothing's changing until E3.
That's a shame. That's crazy. Really a shame to even say that.
I know. It's the truth, dude. And people count Redfall and all this shit. Where's Redfall? That's supposed to come out summertime. We had a 5-minute CGI.
It got delayed.
It got delayed. The Stalker 2 is on Craig's birthday now.
Yeah, December.
the Craig's birthday.
Yo, did you guys see the leaked screenshots and stuff from Redfall?
Yeah, I showed them
Yeah,
last
that
week,
shit's
dude.
trash. It looks like
if it looks
Left 4
like that,
Dead.
it needs to be delayed.
Dude, it looks
Those
horrible,
graphics
man.
look like GoldenEye from N64.
Oh,
It
that's
doesn't
supposed
look
to be
good.
coming. GoldenEye, yeah, they're gonna make GoldenEye.
It looks bad.
It
Yeah.
looked horrible, dude. And the fact that they showed, I knew it was spooky when they showed like a 3-minute movie about it, and I'm like, summer. I'm like, where is this thing? But what I'm trying to say is like, the Game Pass is not growing. Like, and I showed it last week. Well, I showed it last week on one of the shows. Like, Jez Corden was like in April. He's like, we're at 22 million as of April. Like his leak or whatever the hell he was doing. Again, fake news. Because if it was true, that's even worse than what I'm saying. Because that means that they only got 3 million more subscribers. We're dropping the best Forza and supposedly Game of the Year, Halo Infinite. Shit, even Google knows I'm talking bullshit. Holy shit. See? Google's like, shut up, bitch. You know what you're talking about. Yeah, even Google knows that it's all bullshit. It's crazy. Like, how the hell they got only 3 million subscribers with two of their biggest franchises and Forza, remember 10 million were playing per the scoreboard. Mm-hmm. You know, that's where they got the numbers from. 10 million people checked it out per the scoreboard. And I don't understand, like, where's this growth? Like, where's this incredible activity that Phil promised?
It took them 5 years.
You're my number one customer.
Just to get to 25 million.
Yeah,
they stayed at 18 million forever. So
18 million was announced when? In January 2020. It was announced at the at the end of 2019, January 2020, a year ago. 18 million. And that was it. And they announced it from their last quarter of that year. And then they stopped announcing it. And everybody's like, oh, it's fine. And then that dude from Take-Two was like, Phil, what are we at? 40 million? It feels like, oh.
Yeah, and everybody's like, oh, yeah, we're at 40 million. And that was, I think it was 30 million.
Yeah, 30 million, 35.
30 for 30. Yeah.
Yeah, 30 for 30. 30 million. We at 30 million, Phil? Yeah. Now shave off a little 5 million of that. Yeah. Exactly. And how many of those people are like, they're not even saying concurrent subscribers. They're like, Game Pass is at 25 million. Just like they say Sea of Thieves is at 10 million people. No, this Sea of Thieves probably has like 20,000 people playing it. Like, it is not at 10 million people playing it. But, you know, the thing is that and I always said this, like, what's Satya's number of growth? Like, where's Satya just going to be like, you know what, Phil, this is not working out. And that's why they shut down Mixer. Like, and I bring this analogy to Mixer because that is the most current thing under the same regime
that canceled.
They canceled it. And also there was all disruptiveness. Remember, there was like there was racism, there was the sexism in there, and they
got rid of the blacks at Xbox. Remember, all of that was part of that.
Yeah, they got that, and
all
after
of that was
part
part of that.
And like
and
they shut it down. All those people that jumped ship because Ninja Shroud, the injected content, everybody's like, oh, Microsoft's spending money, so I guess they're behind Mixer, 6 months later, after they spent all that money, they shut it down. The people were crying on streams going, I built my life on this thing. They destroyed a community. And what I said back then was like, who in their right mind is going to trust this company with anything, with monetary subscriptions or anything, when they just took a bunch of people that built, and people were upset because they were people that were earning a living on Mixer. And because they paid before Twitch, you had to get like a certain number of followers and become a partner with Twitch. Where Mixer, they added where you could just start getting paid. So a lot of people started channels, but also people moved over there thinking there was better opportunity and better. And I remember being involved in that whole thing because a lot of my friends were doing that, and also I tried doing some Mixer stuff. It was a good streaming service, but Microsoft didn't grow at the rate that they wanted to. But everybody got googly-eyed on Microsoft spending money on Ninja and Shroud. They're buying all this talent. I'm going to start up a channel on Mixer. And people moved over there. And it was crazy because you would look at the numbers. The rest of the community was dropping at like thousands. And then all of a sudden Ninja comes on and there's like 20,000 people watching him play.
Yeah.
They even have him play Gears 5 because they didn't show the reveal. They made him stream it the night before.
Remember, he was supposed to be the guy that brings Halo back,
back.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He didn't even stick around to Halo. Exactly. They were going to use him to market Halo. That's what everybody was saying. Like, oh, Microsoft's spending money and all this stuff. And everybody got googly-eyed on Microsoft spending money rather than why they were spending the money. And that's where you need to look at these moves and go, why are they spending so much money for this? See, everybody just sees like Microsoft spending money. It's like going out with your friend who's throwing thousands on blackjack. And you're just watching and mesmerized, going, wow, he has so much money. Look at how much he drops in poker and all this other stuff. And you're just mesmerized at how much money this person is spending and winning. Because, you bet thousands of dollars and you're going to probably win. It's like, wow, maybe I could do that. Like, look at how much money. And you're just mesmerized at his spending. But then you go like, hey, man, you must live in a mansion. You find out the guy lives in this friggin' car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he basically gambled everything away. And, call the numbers if you gamble, like stuff like that. Call the gamblers anonymous. I'm not saying like that's something to talk about, but I just want to bring up is that, you don't ask like, what's the background of you spending all this money? And you look at them and it's just like, everybody's just celebrating Microsoft spending money, but nobody says, hey, if you had all that money to spend and you're serious about gaming, how about using that money and bring us some games over the last 4 or 5 years? You know? Like, look, you talk about what they're doing. Look at Crackdown 3. Look at franchise. We're talking about them running for Crackdown 3. Where's Viva Pinata? Imagine Viva Pinata would have been a perfect game to go cross-platform everywhere because it probably would work great with touch, great on PC, and great on Xbox. Why am I thinking of that and not Booty? Viva Pinata will be a perfect game in this metaverse, in this world of introducing a unique aspect. Like, it works across all platforms. It's like another Minecraft just waiting. You have that IP. It's celebrated. You have nostalgia. Why aren't you not doing that stuff? And these are the things where you say you have all this money. $100 million got you Tomb Raider. Man, maybe $5 million, $50 million, $100 million, I don't know, buys you GTA or if you want to bring Guitar Hero back so bad, it feels like I was looking at the portfolio after buying Activision and it have some good IP from my old days. Like, I'm like, you are looking at it now? After you said you're going to buy them for $70 billion, you didn't know what they had? Don't act dumb, Phil. You know damn well. You're just pandering to the audience. You're just making people go into their podcast and go, Phil said he wants to bring back Guitar Hero. Hey, Phil. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. Dude, he put Banjo on Smash Brothers without bringing you a Banjo game. If that's not a kick in the balls and a pinch in the ass, I don't know what that is.
Exactly.
Like, you would think, like, he's like, well, I'm proud to bring Crimson Skies back to backwards compatibility. Phil, you're making Crimson Skies too? No. I love Voodoo Vince. I'm bringing him back remastered. Because you're going to make Voodoo Vince too? No. Phantom Dust. I love that game.
Original assets.
There you go. Like, he's all pandering to the audience because he knows that the Phil Nest permeates to these channels and to these fans, and I just don't understand why nobody questions him. Like, come on, Phil, you've been talking about the same stuff for all these years, and you've yet to bring those games and that content to our platform. And then you go around and go spend $70 billion to go buy a studio and games that were already coming to our platform. It's not like you're going out there and buying a Japanese studio that will bring all these games that Microsoft never got before to the platform. Exactly. You know, it will make sense now for them to buy Sega rather than Activision. It just don't understand it. Like, it just does make no sense. Like, why wouldn't you spend that money to bring unique content, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Like, you know, and nobody questions why they're spending this money. They just like the fact that they're spending the money. And you look at the Game Pass subscriptions, like, you tell me, you know, how's that? 5 years, $5 million a year. Why are they buying up these studios? Because, you know what? They need the Ninja and Shroud moment. They need that moment. They need to inject They need to make something big happen because it's not naturally growing. And you see, third party, were they running to put stuff in Game Pass? They're jumping on the internet going, we're not putting our game in Game Pass. Why would they do that if it was such an amazing moneymaker? I don't know. See, what I think they should have done with Game Pass is they should have made it like almost like an Xbox Arcade. Like they should have made it like Arcade Pass, and basically used it to leverage a lot of indies and AA games in the service day and date, and therefore it wouldn't compromise their first party. So their first party, and they could put first party games in there, but like they could have kept Halo as is. They could have made the games without worrying about if it's going to drive subscription numbers, and they could have used it as an alternative and as a way to gain exposure and even attract more of the indie audience. And one of the things, I don't have it on the list, even though we're all over the place, was like the pushback or the feedback of what Microsoft's doing with this consolidation and just buying big companies. It is discouraging to indie developers going, well, now you're just putting these big ass games in the service. Where's my indie game fall into that?
Exactly.
It's a detractor. It's not as indie and welcoming as, and also too, like, where's my game being found? Like, where are you going to put my game? Like, where's my game going to be in the midst of 200 games? Dude, I don't know, man. But one of the things I wanted to go into here is the media spin. I know you guys are hungry for that one. The media spin on this whole exclusive versus buying studios versus buying publishers. And hit that like button, everybody. Hit that subscribe if you're new. We're gonna be talking this media stuff. So what I want to pose to you guys is this question. What do you think? What is the difference between what Microsoft is doing with the publishers versus what Sony has done with those other studios? And the whole thing of exclusivity and putting games exclusive on PlayStation for like timed exclusivity, or buying the studio and having an exclusive, versus what Microsoft is doing on the publishing, buying a publisher end of it. Like, what do you think? Like, how was your definition or view on that? Link first or JW one? I need a drink. Uh-oh, what happened? They got canceled out? JW there, Link. All right, well, while they're grabbing their things here, I hope they.
I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm here, and just
Oh, Link. Well, what do you think about the exclusive thing, and then the whole, like, basically saying, well, if Sony could make exclusives and stuff like that, well, Microsoft just could buy a publisher and make it exclusive. Like,
but see, there's a difference. Microsoft is buying whole publishers and pulling games off of platforms. Sony has organic growth. They're creating new studios. They're not just buying; they're also building brand new studios. They're buying developers that already have a close relationship with them that weren't really making games on the Xbox platform anyway. So this huge amount of consolidation, buying these publishers and putting them under one umbrella, I just don't think it's a good idea. But the way Sony's doing, the way Microsoft's doing is totally different. Paying for exclusive content, buying developers, creating studios, they're doing different things. They're doing it a totally different way, the way Microsoft is doing. It doesn't even seem to have any, what Microsoft is doing doesn't even seem to have any rhyme or reason.
Mm-hmm.
So I really wouldn't compare it. If people are comparing it, it's foolish, because if you look at it logically, it's not the same thing. So.
Yeah, I agree. It's not the same. Like, I agree. Like, I have here. Get J-Dub. J-Dub there? Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know, J-Dub. He's on mute. He's doing something. But yeah, like, I'll take that clip that he has here. And yeah, this is what he says.
For even longer than that, Sony has been gobbling up companies to make exclusive games and properties to them under the guise that they were being fostered and given creative freedom to build whatever their heart desires. Sony bought 5 studios last year. Studios that worked on and made Xbox games at one time. Valkyrie had helped on Halo Infinite, Forza, State of Decay 2, and now they only do Sony games. Nixies worked on the Tomb Raider games, Deus Ex and Avengers, now only Sony games. Firespite worked on The Persistence, which released on Xbox, now only Sony games, and even Bluepoint, yes, the creators of the recent remake Demon Souls, worked on Metal Gear for the 360 and Titanfall for the 360, now only Sony. Even Housemarque worked on Angry Birds for the 360 back in 2012 and Outland, now only Sony games.
Dude, he's digging. So what he's trying to say is that the studios that Sony bought at one time helped Xbox as support studios to make games. And Sony bought them now, and they're no longer making games anymore. I don't know how any of those games compare, and what those studios worked on compare to buying a publisher that already has an established third-party game on all platforms today. Not Angry Birds on the 360, but today. And owning that IP and all their IP, even Crash Bandicoot was multi-platform, and just buying the publisher up to own that. How is that the same thing as Sony buying support studios that worked on multiple Xbox games last gen? Titanfall for the 360. Oh man, they got them now. Like, what are you gonna do? Pull it off of the 360? Oh, that's it. You know what? Housemarque. Pull off I want Angry Birds off the 360 right now. Sony's making that deal right happen. Dude, it makes no sense. They're two different things. And I don't know how much reaching that is, but going over those studios and saying that at one time in their career, they worked on an Xbox game. And first off, an Nexus, whatever, was a support studio that worked on multiple games. They didn't even make their own. This is actually a great opportunity for them to make their own game with Sony. How's that any different than Sony? How's that different than Microsoft buying a whole goddamn publisher and owning all that IP under there? And these games were already on the platforms. I think that's totally different. And the thing is that it's different approaches. Sony, and I also saw this thing, well, I'll get into that, but Sony basically is buying these studios and work. And what's interesting is look at, he's upset with Angry Birds, but look at when they purchased, and it wasn't the Fire Access, the one that's making the VR game. Even when they purchased Insomniac,
Firesprite,
number one customer.
Like, we've seen gameplay already to friggin' to Firesprite's gameplay with the VR. Like, if you look, when Sony buys their studio, there's a game announced or something that they're working on within the year or so. Like, they bought Insomniac and they had Miles Morales a year and a half later, and then Ratchet right after that. Whereas you see Microsoft, they bought Compulsion Games. Oh, I don't know.
We haven't seen anything.
Nothing,
what have we seen?
Dude. Nothing.
Yeah.
Game night with the $5. He goes, those studios never got any original IP. How can you not see that? Except for Valkyrie, which made small indie games, guns up on PS4. Exactly. And I understand. See, what he was trying to spin in that video was that imagine if Microsoft goes into Activision and lets them work on, and the studios within Activision, and lets them work on a game that they want. Like, oh, Infinity Ward, you don't have to make Call of Duty anymore. You can make whatever your heart desires because we are Moneybags Phil. Which I don't think they say that, and, that total freedom, but I'm sure there's some questions, because I don't know if the initiative walks in and says, I want to make Perfect Dark. I don't know. But, and nonetheless, a first-person shooter after the guy worked on third-person shooters. But who knows what the influence is. It's business. But I don't understand is that how he's talking about the positivity of, like, them buying this publisher and maybe fixing them. But I say, we just talked about it. Microsoft needed to fix themselves with what they had already before they're going to go fix around anybody else. Like, you can't teach somebody to run when you're still trying to learn how to walk. And that's where I don't understand. Microsoft has yet to demonstrate that they're capable or even doing anything with the studios that they purchased in 2018 or who they owned before. They had 343 for all these years, and they release a Halo product like that under the Microsoft roof. They didn't buy 343. 343's been there forever. They've been there since Bungie left. That studio's been under their roof since then. And this is the culmination of their production is Halo Infinite, the service game. That doesn't demonstrate some great instruction and oversight and management to say, just with one studio, your biggest IP, now go help Bethesda and Activision. You had 500 employees having brunch every Sunday. Tell me it's a service game. That's why stuff's not available. And here come 10,000 employees from Activision. You're going to be their savior. I don't know where that optimism comes from. I don't have it. I just don't get where that optimism comes from. They have yet to, the movement, the actions, people are celebrating, but the results, they aren't, because there are no results. So, like, I just feel that, you know, that's reaching, saying Sony's gobbling up the studio, so Microsoft had to buy a publisher. Sony, and just like what Link said, so like Sony is buying people that they worked with that never even made an Xbox game. He's talking about people that support studios, but like they weren't making games on the platforms. And Insomniac was looking for Sunset Overdrive 2, and they said, ask Microsoft why there isn't a sequel. Oh. So what happened? Maybe if they made Sunset Overdrive 2, they wouldn't be available to make Spider-Man. That would have changed things. But they didn't want to make Sunset Overdrive 2. They didn't want to make Rise 2. They didn't want to make Quantum Break 2, which is basically what Control was. Control and Multiplat. No Rise 2. No, they even want Titanfall 2 as an exclusive. All these decisions that Microsoft had opportunities for, they didn't demonstrate awareness and bringing games to their platform. They were so involved in everything else and just touting out Phil like he's a celebrity. They missed giving you content and giving you games and telling you to wait, canceling Scalman, shutting down Lionhead just to make Playground Games, you make Fable. What? If Fable held that much value to your company and you wanted to bring that IP back, why would you let go of the studio that created it and give it to the studio that makes racing games? You have Rare sitting there trying to figure out whatever Wild is, and you build a studio over the initiative and say, you work on Perfect Dark. Where's the management? And like the carpet don't match the drapes. There's confusion here. But now they're going to come in, the savior, Phil Ness coming in, and he's going to tell the Activision, you're going to make Guitar Hero. And Link, even if Phil wants to make Guitar Hero, right? Even if he does, this deal does not close until sometime of summer or next year, right? Before they sort all this out, and if they have to fight in a regular, we're talking at least a year before this thing ever even comes. Phil Ness rules. Like, we're talking about over a year that this closes. Then he could walk in there and say, make Guitar Hero. What are you looking at? 3 years from next year? Are we talking 2026? 2025? Like, what are you talking about? Imagine Guitar Hero. Are you, like, by the time that happens, if it ever will, it won't start until the end of next year. And this is where I go on my tirade every single time. If it goes through. That's right. Eden, yeah. And yeah. Eden Prime. If it goes through. But this is where I go on my tirade. Why does Microsoft need to go through all this just to say they're bringing games to their platform? When Sony just walks over and just says, hey, Deathloop, look good, come over here. Where was Phil with his billions of dollars with Deathloop? Did he believe the Xbox fans don't want that? Where was Phil when Sony got the Final Fantasy? You don't think Microsoft could have outbidded Sony and said Final Fantasy Remake is going to be on Xbox? Where was $1 billion Phil then? With the big check. But Sony, poor ass Sony, was able to outbid Big Daddy Microsoft to get Final Fantasy Remake, to get Deathloop. Poor ass Sony, where they pay? Where they go there and count pennies at the front of Square Enix's door and fill out the big check?
You're my
and Square
number
Enix
one
is like,
customer.
nah, we don't want your money, Phil. Tell me, where was all this money when Sony is making these deals? When Sony sees Kana and go, you know what? I want that on PlayStation. Where was Phil with his big check? Where was Chris Chawla and his indie studios? Where were they? Bug Snacks. Where was Phil with Bug Snacks? They don't want it. So instead of celebrating them spending money, see, where was that money? Because if poor ass Sony, who can't compete in the big leagues of Big Daddy Microsoft, could get these games to their platform exclusive, then how did Phil get outbidded by poor ass Sony? Just to have you wait. There it is, Game Night 1, 2, 3 with the punchline right here. Just wait, Jez. You have to wait for years already. Waiting for another 5 years won't hurt. Exactly. Waiting. Hoping and wishing and praying and wishing. Why did they? How? Like, don't be excited that they spent money. Why? Poor ass Sony, who can't compete with the big dog, outbidded you on all these games.
You're my number one customer.
How did it get Forspoken for 2 years? I don't even like to use the Square Enix ones. I'm going to talk about freaking Bethesda. How did they get Bethesda games exclusive before you get it? Who's identifying talent? Who over at Microsoft? They're buying up all this IP. And you just like the idea of them spending money. And that's their commitment, just spending money. You could go spend a whole bunch of money on like trash. That doesn't mean that you spent it wisely. That doesn't mean that you are smart with your money. That doesn't mean that you're more valuable because you just went out and spent $1 million on garbage. You'd be a fool. Exactly, Carol? Where was he with Ghostwire Tokyo? I want more Japanese games. Where were you? Meanwhile, you buy Bethesda and go, well, we got Tangleworks now. Where was your love for Tangleworks when they were making Ghostwire Tokyo? Where was your big check? How did poor ass Sony, who can't compete with you, big dogs? Sony's poor. Sony makes nothing. You dealing with Microsoft money now. Hey. Bling, bling. Microsoft money. Bling, bling. You dealing with that. Sony's poor. Sony got no money, but how are they getting the games? I don't know. So tell me about exclusivity. And you think that Sony is paying to keep these games off of Xbox? You know, poor ass Sony that doesn't have the money that Microsoft has. Sony that comes to work with goddamn overalls and friggin' torn up jeans because they got no money. They don't got Microsoft money. Bling bling. So tell me, where, how does Sony walk in there and pay these games and say they slipped their money under the table? Where they slipping? Food stamps? Hey, you know what? No, but Bethesda, there you go. I want Deathloop only on PlayStation. Don't put it on Xbox. Here's some food stamps because we don't have any money. Big Daddy Phil's outside, goddamn John Cusack holding up the big check. He's trying to outbid us. But here's some food stamps. Phil McDuck. That's a good one. Bling bling. Where were they? Where were they for these exclusive deals? Sony, big money, paid to keep it off Microsoft? But I thought Microsoft got the money. They got the grills. Phil Spencer with his grill smile. The next interview he's going to have the grill with diamonds on it. Go bling, bling. Who am I buying next? Flavor Flav, he's gonna have the big goddamn clock. It's only a matter of time before I buy somebody else. But Sony ain't got no money. How's Sony getting the games? Please tell me. How are they buying these exclusives? So this is the same thing. Sony's paying to keep exclusives off of Microsoft, and poor old Microsoft has to resort to spending $70 billion to respond. What world do you live in? Please. What world? That's right, Toolman. Donut overdose. We got the biggest crowd here, Grinders, in this grind house. I'm going to put more addendums on there. Buck Roger, get out of the pool. They're coming in. Hit that like button, everybody. Hit that subscribe if you're new here. Because these are the questions that nobody's asking. You want to go on there and hear how Microsoft spends money like it's your own? Go free to listen to them. I'm open to everybody's opinion. But this is our opinion. This is my opinion. And Link has his opinion. And Frog has his. Frog has a power outage, by the way, Grinders. His grindhouse has no power. Frog, hope you're safe. We'll touch base. Don't worry about it, Frog. But this is the question. Sony shook Microsoft so much with exclusives, they didn't know what to do. Little ass Sony, the underdog, with food stamps, buying exclusives from Microsoft. How does this happen? Phil was shook. He said, Satya, I need the check. He goes running out there, holds up the check. They're outbidding us. Sony shook Microsoft to spend $70 billion, $80 billion, because they were buying exclusives. You know. And then they're scooping up all these devs that made Angry Birds on the 360. How dare they? Angry Birds? God damn it. Sony scooped up the 360 Angry Bird dev. Oh my God. Shook the industry. Dustin, you're right. You're right. Sony's not playing fair. How dare they take Angry Birds 360 devs? How dare they? Oh, and what? The people that made the Blue Point, the people that made the 360 port of Titanfall, they took them. Sony's flexing. But Microsoft is shook. We need to buy somebody. I gotta buy somebody. That devil Bobby Kotick is trying to sell his shit because he knows that he's not getting out of it. Activision was done. He's trying to sell it to the highest bidder because he knows he messed up. And who's there to pick up the devil? Who's there to pick up that shit-ass publisher that needed to get their shit together before they even think about getting a payday? Nah, here comes Big Daddy Phil. He was shook because Sony was paying in food stamps to keep games off his platform. So he had to roll out $70 billion to own Bobby Kotick and his shit company and said, you know what? Straighten up all the political bullshit that's going on here. You know, and now Raven Studios, now part of Microsoft soon next year, is forming unions. And Phil Ness quoted, he has no clue how to handle unions. You better get Saudi on the phone. You got unions, sex scandals. You got people leaving the company. Who is going to be around? You tell me you buy the IP, but when you don't curate it, when you don't work with the people before and give them confidence that they'll find success on that platform, you're only buying a shell of a company. And that's what you got. Where is the passion? The people that wanted to make Call of Duty the best. The people that wanted to make Overwatch 2. You bought a shell. And if they're going to stay, because now you're going to tell them what to do. Who knows? All that talent leaves, forms their own studios. What do you have left? Because you just went in there with your big check and bought up this company. Where you bought the body, but you didn't get the soul. That's what you did. And that's what you are doing. Same thing happened with Mixer.
You're my number one
You got
customer.
the ninja body, but you didn't get the subscribers, the soul, the fan base, the grindhouse. $5 on the game night 123 would knock it out the super chats. He says, "Thanks, Phil, for buying Activision and paying Bobby Kotick millions of dollars when he leaves." Exactly. But they're gonna save him. But shame on Sony for taking away that Angry Birds 360 dev. The other point here is this whole Sony paying to keep games off the platform. I think J-Dub had to leave. Link's on mute. This is the Bachelor Grindhouse. But I want to thank J-Dub for coming through. Link, chime in whenever you want, man. But hear this.
Yeah.
Dude, hear this. I know I went on my tirade. So this whole buying studios and all this other stuff. You know what's interesting is that they think Sony pays to keep these games off of Xbox, right? And I saw somebody, some Xbox fan or somebody, made this chart because that's all they do now is make these lists, and I just love showing them on the channel because they're friggin' hilarious. So this person believes that these are the list of Square Enix games that are not coming to Xbox consoles: Final Fantasy Remake, Trials of Mana, Bravely Default 2, Saga Frontier, Legend of Mana, Neo, The World Ends With You, Voice of Cards, The Island Dragon Roars, Babylon's Fall, Triangle Strategy, Forspoken, Final Fantasy 16. But what I do find interesting is some of these games are actually going to the Switch. Saga Frontier, Legend of Mana, Trials of Mana, Neo, The World Ends With You. They're on everything but an Xbox. They're even on Microsoft Windows, all these games. Voice of Cards on the Switch. So if Sony was paying for exclusivity, are they specifically just paying to keep it off of Xbox? Is that what you all think? You think that Sony's just giving the food stamps because they don't have Microsoft money? They're just paying all this money to keep those games off of Xbox, but they'll put them on the Switch and on Windows. Is that what all the fans think on Twitter? So therefore, Sony deserves what Microsoft did with spending. Sony shook them to pay $70 billion. Sony's keeping all this off of Xbox. But you can put it on the Switch because that's not competition because they're a Japanese company, right? You can put it on Windows, but I just don't want it on Xbox. That's what Sony's deal is. What's the money to keep it exactly off of Xbox? Let me tell you something. And again, this is real talk here. The reason why these games are not on Xbox is because they won't sell on Xbox. It's not Sony handing out food stamps to pay it to keep it off of Xbox. It's because the developer or the publisher do not find it financially feasible to put the games on Xbox because you don't buy the games. You don't buy these games. That's why. Real deal. Fucking. God damn it. Don't take my word for it. Tony, easy doing the twist. Tony, here you go, Tony. I speculate too much, Tony. I would love to have you on this show to read this last sentence right here from Capcom's marketing deal. Marketing, right here. Capcom's marketing. What is this last thing? Tony, I'm going to read it slow for you. Here it is. Marketing product. This is from Capcom. Ready? The last sentence here. Xbox One is considered non-viable, with the 2019 remasters only selling around 1,000 copies worldwide on that platform. I'm going to read it slowly again because the other top thing says Switch is considered the most important platform, having the best sales for the 2019 Trilogy Remaster and expected to account for roughly 63 of the collection sales. But that last sentence here. And look where it's releasing. Intended release window, July 2021. These are the marketing platforms: Switch, PS4, and Steam. $39.99. And the last thing, Xbox One is considered a non-viable platform, with only 2019 remasters only selling 1,000 copies worldwide on that platform. So that's from Capcom.
What game is this? What game is this?
That was the one. What did they say? This is from the. Who is this one? It was the collection. Hold on. Doesn't say it in the friggin'. It was DLC of the Great Reversal Stories. Octopath. There's that. But wait, we also have this one, right? We also have the thing that I showed with Ubisoft, right? With Ubisoft showing their breakdown of where the games are selling and where they're making the most money. They're selling it on PlayStation. And that's why maybe Ubisoft Pass is going to Xbox, because the Xbox Pass. Like, you know, they got that Ubisoft Game Pass thing. Let me see. And I was trying to search all day, and I don't know. It was Phoenix Wright. That's what it was. It was Phoenix Wright. I just looked it up. The chat. It was the DLC there. They didn't have it in the clip. But the point is that regardless of the game, is that you can't just say Sony's paying to keep these off of the calendar. Here it is. The Ace Attorney Chronicles. And that the trilogy came out and it didn't sell well on the Xbox. But this is not the only time. Like, you look, and I was trying to find it all friggin' day, where they said, and I thought it was, and I forgot what the publisher was, but it was a Japanese publisher, and they were saying that it's not financially, it doesn't financially make sense to port this over to Xbox because the game will not sell there. And I think we know when it comes to a lot of these Japanese games, and you even look at Yakuza and look at those games.
Number one customer.
It took a long time. Like, Phil had to go to freaking Japan and like say, "Hey, I need a game here." And basically, look what happened. These games are not selling on Xbox. And that's just the way it is. It's the culture. It could be not their fault. Like, they don't have a Japanese developer. It's just maybe it's not in the cards for them. But you can't just say that Sony is paying to keep exclusives, and that's why Microsoft has to buy publishers and give it back to Sony. It's not apples and oranges. There are games that legitimately don't come to Xbox because they don't find it financially feasible to put the game there because it's not selling. And I did the I hit the super chat up. Let's see. There it is. This one. And this is the other chart that I had up the last time. And again, this is just going back to when you talk about mind share and developer mind share. And you go look and see how Microsoft in the 360, they had some leverage in Japan. They were trying to bring Japanese games to the platform with Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey. And they even got Final Fantasy Day and Date. That was a huge announcement. But then with the Xbox One, they lost Japan. And now the games are just not coming there. And they're not coming to the platform anymore. But you can't sit here and be like, well, you know what? It's because Sony's paying them off and keeping them off of Xbox. So we got to play dirty and just buy publishers up and gobble up the gaming industry. And I just mentioned before, if Microsoft just wanted to bring exclusives to you, Rise of the Tomb Raider was $100 million. They're paying $78 billion. They could have bought the whole family of Tomb Raiders. They could have bought the franchise with that money. So ask me why they're spending such a big amount of money if it is all about bringing you the game of games. It's not.
It's not.
It's something else. It's controlling.
I think. Listen,
industry.
You talking about Microsoft?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're They're brute forcing it. They're like, hey, we're gonna buy up all these studios, all these publishers. You know what I mean, and force people into Game Pass, or on the Xbox platform or whatever. And guess what, Jez? If it doesn't work out, guess what? There'll be a huge third-party development house.
Yeah, it's a fail-safe.
They'll own tons of IP, tons of studios, and they can still keep making money in gaming without even making hardware. So
and yeah, that's the plan, dude. That's
either way, it's a win for them. And if it, Microsoft, if the Xbox doesn't end up taking off like they want it to, and isn't successful enough, they will jump out of the hardware business, but they'll still have tons of software they can sell.
Wow. But that's the thing. I don't even know what they do, but maybe, and that's why, when they're making these purchases, it's sort of like the response is very kind of confusing. Like, everybody wants to know, well, just like with the Bethesda deal, like, should I be excited about this? And then everybody's like, should I be excited? And the next question is, well, I only would be excited if Starfield, or like if they're all exclusive to Xbox, then I'll get excited about it. But if they're going to be multi-plat, then really this is not exciting for me. And the fact is that we're in the same situation again with Activision. It's like, well, if you're going to make everything exclusive, then this is a great deal, But if you're not, you're going to keep things on there, or you're going to release things. Basically, you are, you're basically. It's just so confusing. But like, and this, to be fair, and I want to mention this. Exclusives matter. So forget about the Phil Ness. And if you don't believe me, go back to my videos from last year when Phil did this stuff. Exclusives matter. And Microsoft needs exclusives. And Sony does exclusives. Because remember, Phil said, that basically, exclusives are not I just had that quote up there. Exclusives are not meant for the future, like not the future of gaming. So, and also he wanted crossplay so bad. Imagine they take Call of Duty off of PlayStation, and it's like, well, why did you force Sony to do crossplay and say, when two become one, goddamn Spice Girls, and basically, freaking just basically pull that out. Like, it just kind of counter to what they're saying. But one of the things I'm saying is like pulling these games off of them, right? You look here, and this is what I was mentioning, like with the Ubisoft one. Look at where they're selling the most games. So if you look, basically, why would you, like, this is what I made before. It's about mindshare. It's about where the gamers play the games and where these publishers are making the money on their games. So there are situations, now Ubisoft's not one of them, but maybe that's why Ubisoft Game Pass is going to Xbox, because, look, they're selling the dark blue. Like, you're looking at them. They're 20 to 36, 26 to 42, 27 to 41. It's the dark blue to the light blue is the relative Xbox to PlayStation. 21 to 30, like, look at the ratios. Now, those ratios are probably even bigger for Japanese games. This is Ubisoft. Never go full Ubisoft. But the ratios are probably bigger for Japanese games. So if you're sitting there as Xbox with a Japanese game that's really low in percentage, when you look across the sales, you got to say, well, am I going to spend the time and money on my development studio to port the game to Xbox, where it's probably not going to sell and make that money back? So that's where you say some of these exclusives, yes, Sony probably is identifying these and identifying for their platform, but other ones are really decisions of the publishers not finding Xbox as a viable platform to make their money back for the development cost of the game. And that's a mindshare issue, and that's a sales issue, and a console adoption issue. Console adoption, so there are other factors. It's not just Sony slinging money, because I don't understand what people are just like, well, that's why we got to buy all these publishers, because Microsoft's spending the money and Sony's buying this off. But like to his article, what Destin was trying to say is like, Sony's buying up studios. Microsoft had to respond. It's like, listen, if Sony wants to buy exclusives and keep them time exclusive, whatever they want, great. Microsoft wants to do it, fine. I love the Tomb Raider deal. I didn't care. I bought the Tomb Raider. I thought that was a good move. It got a lot of hate from the PlayStation fans. It hurt. I remember that. People were going after the actress. Remember the voice actress? Like, fans are crazy on either side. They're going wild, man. They were going after the voice actress. for Tomb Raider because of that exclusivity. They went wild, man. It was a PlayStation IP, and Phil bought it for a year. And I just think this type of purchasing is way different because this is kind of moving the industry to go through Microsoft's ecosystem. Now, I don't give a shit if they want to sell you the game. I just don't want the games to be adjusted for Game Pass. And if it's $100 million to get exclusivity for games, to just bring games to you, $100 million for Tomb Raider, which is a pretty big IP, then why are you spending $70 billion to own a publisher or $7 billion to own Bethesda? There's something much more than just wanting to bring exclusive games to a platform. They want to make sure that they could finesse those games to work for Game Pass. And when you see Game Pass it all makes sense. If you see Game Pass not growing at a rate, 25 million in 5 years, you see why they're so aggressive with wanting to own these publishers. And the last question I'll leave everybody with, and you can put in the chat if you want to answer it, is if they're doing all this stuff now, after they had their first party, after they bought those studios in 2018, and now in the last 2 years, they bought 2 huge publishers. And then Perfect Dark is getting support from Crystal Dynamics. Everwild had to redo itself and looking at 2024. Halo, the service game of 10 years. Tell me, how much confidence does this leave you with the studios that they already had, the games that are already in development, and the studios that they purchased in 2018? Tell me where the confidence is if they have to feel like they are doing these moves to make these huge moves. They still never showed the fruits of the labor of 2018. People were yelling at me saying, it takes 4 years. What are you talking about? The games take time. In 2018, this grinds my gears in 2022. Where's the gameplay of these games? When's the release date? I was told in 2018, 2019, they're saving it all for next gen. Oh, they're not releasing any games in Xbox One now. This is all saved up for the next gen. We're entering the second year of the next gen. And now you're telling me, imagine 2025 and 26 release dates. And trying to get people to subscribe to Game Pass? To imagine in 2026? What are you smoking? What are you doing? And instead, the W is just that Microsoft, a big money, is spending money. But nobody questions why are they not spending money on just bringing games to you now? And where were they in those deals when Sony was bringing games to their platform of these third-party deals that keeping them off the platform? And where was Microsoft with Deathloop and all the Kena and all these other games that Sony identified and put them on their platform? Where? Where was Microsoft's negotiation skills then? I don't know. Where were they? So, we sit here. I think I covered a lot. We went all over the place. But yeah, just the deal is a different deal. And I don't mind exclusives, man. Let them buy it up. Buy them up and make it exclusive. Make that Call of Duty exclusive next year. Make it this year. Make it exclusive this year. If you're spending that much money, you make that game exclusive. And as Froggy says, he wants to see those pony tears. Because that gets him off, I guess. Just don't get it on the screen, Froggy. But if that gets you off, that gets you off. You want to see how much money they spend, but you want to make it exclusive. I don't care. Do it. Do it. Let Sony fans and Call of Duty fans, let them find another game. Let them struggle. But I'm going to tell you this. You might get some Call of Duty people to move back to Xbox. Of course. It might be a short-term win. But I'm going to tell you something about gamers. They always find a way to find the great games. That's the truth. And there might be another game that has an opportunity now to shine if Call of Duty's not on there. And there are people that will go. And maybe you get 10 million subscribers. And now you're at 35 million. You're at 50, 60 million. You get the big guns. It's about the quality games. And you know what? You know it. Phil, tell us what you said in 2019.
Means when I think about Xbox, I'm going to think about quality games. We have work to do there.
Look at that. He's even botting. But I'm telling you, take the exclusives. Just like you did with Bethesda. Take it. Do it. Do it. Take Starfield. Now you got to tell them to subscribe to Game Pass and not buy the game. You got to finesse that game. And I'll leave you with the last tip. Go look at the forums for Halo Infinite and read how many people would rather just pay full price for Halo than get it the way it is right now. Link,
I wish I could have paid money and got a...
You got to come off and come in again because you're botting.
I'm botting? Hold on.
Yeah. I hear him botting. I don't know. Do it. Do it.
All right.
It's still botting. I don't know if it's me. Guys, is Link botting? I don't know. Let me know.
Still botting?
I don't know, man. Just do it. Make the exclusives. Yeah, Link, I can't hear you, but I don't know if they're botting. Let me see. Oh, my God. Guys, hit that like button. My God, I get 118 likes, 170 likes. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Link bot. You got Link bot in there. Oh, he sounds fine to you? Then, Link, you could talk, but I can't hear you, though. For some reason, it's coming through. I might have to... Hold on. I might have to do my thing here. Hold on. But they can hear you, so spit your bars. They can hear you. Hold on. I'm gonna sign out, come back in. Wait, no, if I do it. Wait. Yeah, Link, let me hear you.
Wait, can you hear me?
Nah, you're still doing that thing. Hold on. Wait. Now you get my
SWB audio captured.
There we go. I hear you now.
You can hear me now?
Hello?
Am I still botting?
Yeah, he was botting on my end. Okay, sorry, guys. Yeah, I heard him. All right, Link. Are you there? Can you talk, Link? Hello?
Yo, can you hear me? Am I still botting?
Hold on. Oh, no. They can hear you, Link.
They can hear
Wrap
me?
it up, Link. Tell them what you feel and wrap them up. If you can hear me. I don't know if you can hear me, Link. I don't know. We got audio.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
He's coming. Hold on. Let me get my... Oh, there we go. That's probably what's going on. Hello, Link? You there?
Yeah. What's up? Can you hear me?
No, Link's not,
can anybody hear me?
Thing. Well, sorry, Link. We'll put the thing in the chat. Link audio is good. Okay, yeah, it was buzzing on my end. Hello, Link. You there? I can't hear him. Yeah, I can't hear Link. Sorry, Link. I can't hear you. Something went wrong with my audio. It has to do with Discord. Discord's messing up. It defaulted to something and knocked me out. Oh, here it is. There it is. Link, can you hear me? Oh, there it is. That's what happened. There we go. I think I fixed it. Anyway. Is Link talking? Sorry, Link. We both sound good. I can't hear him, though. Oh, something else. Phil got him. Oh, goodness. But I apologize, Link. I want to say go follow Link over on Twitter And I want to thank Link and thank you, J-Dub. You don't hear Link anymore. Link got Phil Nest. Oh, man. But Link, I want to thank you again for coming on the show, and definitely hit up where you can find Link over on Twitter. And I messed with it until I broke it. That's right. You know, there you go. I need Xbox. I need Phil to save me. Phil, save the stream. Phil, save us. Anyway. But Grinders, I want to thank you for an incredible show, man. The likes, I'm just amazed. Thank you so much for the support. I know. I shut him down. Oh my God, Tony Twist, don't even start. Nassim, wait a second. No, you're talking about that freaking. Oh my God, the last thing, man. That dude, he's that abandoned developer. Oh my God, please, that dude. If that is, you're gonna have to grind my gears. Dude, you're gonna have to grind my gears of the century if that guy, he's still talking about his game abandoned. Holy Jesus. Don't be that guy. But I want to thank you guys for the amazing stream. Thank you so much for the support. Share it out. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. And definitely hit the join button and join the Grindhouse. Support the channel. And I'm going to get some more emojis, get some good transitions here. Sorry for the audio issues at the end. I'm sorry, Link. But I have to fix it. I think it was the Discord just went bonkers on me. Yes, that Hassan guy. Oh my God. He tweeted out there. I just rolled my eyes. I was like, please. But yeah, share out the video, everybody, and comment below. I read all the comments. So please, thank you again for all the super chats. Thank Game Night. Shout out to everybody that did the super chats. Kim, Game Night, man, rocking. And I want to thank everybody for all their support. But yes, tune into the Grindhouse. I'll be trying to do those game bites this weekend, the Grind Gaming Bite. I got a couple of topics, especially the VR one I wanted to do. Nice. Who all you want to do community game nights? Yes, I want to do some community game nights. So I'll definitely get on and we'll just do a game night, man. Definitely we'll do something. But I'll be doing that as well. But I want to thank everybody again for a great show. And I think I touched on all the topics that I talked about. I know we derailed it all over the place, but we had J-Dubs getting the blood transfusion, going from bleeding out green to bleeding blue again, and then and Link jumped on. Shout out to Frogs. Hope he's okay out there. With the outage, the power outage there, so Frogs gonna make it. Maybe I'll do something live later on this week if you grinders want it. But we will do a community game night. That is what it's about, man. Because it's about the games, and that's the one thing it's about. It's about the games, and that's all I bring it up on these topics. Like it's just. I'm somebody who wants an immediate, like, I want to say, like, okay, bring the games. Like, woohoo, let's do it. And when it's like, nah, imagine. It's like, dude, what are we doing here? We've been imagining for the last 4 years. They're not stopping making consoles. They're selling you consoles left and right, dude. Like, come on. They're not stopping making consoles. They still want you to buy their product. So put some games for the product. Now they're hyping up Meta and VR. Well, you don't have VR. Stay tuned. That's another one. But grinders, hit that like button, share it out. We're wrapping up another gaming Grindhouse in the books. Follow me over on the Twitter. Got a whole bunch of new Twitter followers, and you could use that profile pitch if you want. Herman Holtz with Wolverine, baby. And now we go out with the words of Jim Gordon Ramsay.
Enough from me.
And he doesn't work. Yeah, all my audio's messed up, dudes. But anyway, thank you again, everybody. See you later. Awesome show. Biggest live crowd of all. And I just want to thank you again, really. Thank you again, everybody. The Gaming Grindhouse shutting down for no